Welcome to Friday Night Live. We had technical issues. For some reason, I could not get StreamYard to load, which means I couldn't put a comment saying we're having technical difficulties. Um, but yeah, so we are ready to rock and roll. So let me go ahead and get this going here. So sorry for the delay, people. Technology, it happens. So
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back.
all right. So we got Friday Night Free for All. So we'll start off talking about the Bears. But other NFL news, the Giants have released Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, they let him go. I don't know how much it's going to cost him, how much they still got to pay him, but yeah, he's history.
He clears waivers. Nobody has to pay his salary. He gets a whole new
Which is
whole new
probably
salary. Yeah, because no one wants to pay him what he's paying him. And then other Viking news, idiots want the Vikings to sign Aaron Rodgers.
I don't even acknowledge those dumbasses. Anybody that says that shit needs to just do us all a favor and stop watching football.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is not coming to Minnesota. We don't want him in Minnesota with what they've built in that locker room now. The last thing you want to do is bring in a diva like Aaron Rodgers.
Right. And he's not going to get his buddies.
No.
No,
he's not. That's what people have to I don't know. The Viking fan base sometimes gets on my nerves.
Yeah, we have a quarterback, people. His name is J.J. McCarthy.
Yep, that's our future.
Yep. And then going over the Bears games, they're going to try to, from what, because I've been watching a lot of Bears stuff, supposedly Jalen Johnson is going to be, they're going to try to cover Jalen Johnson, Justin Jefferson one-on-one. Caleb Williams looked good against the Packers defense, so therefore he's going to look good against the Vikings defense, even though they look totally different. People are picking the Bears to win, but that's not an issue because, hey, it's Chicago. Things happen. It's that they're picking the Bears to win like 30-22 or something like that. If the Bears win, it's going to be a 13-9 ball game.
Yeah, I don't know who these so-called experts are. That's all I can do is shake my head. It's like the hate for Sam Darnold is real. I have noticed that.
Yeah, they called him. Some of the Bears people said he's gone back into pumpkin mode, but he still played better than your quarterback.
Hell, Caleb ain't got out of the pumpkin patch.
So
he's still. I mean, come on now. He still ain't got out of the pumpkin patch. And that defense is for the players that they have in that defense, they make a lot of mental mistakes. So, I mean, it'll be a typical NFC Central / North game. I think the Vikings win. I said, what did I say, 24-14?
Yeah, I don't even think they get that. I think at the most at the most, the Bears get 13 because of the defense. Caleb Williams is a young quarterback. All that good stuff.
Yeah. I'll stick with the 24-14 because stranger things have happened. And the Vikings and this ref crew does not like the Vikings.
A lot of them don't.
And the weather, well, should be almost like 50 degrees there Sunday. So it depends on what kind of shape the field is in too. So, but I think the Vikings win. Oh, did you hear in Green Bay? Purdy's not playing on Sunday. So,
well, I heard it was a game time decision.
I heard he's out. He's out. Yeah.
So who plays then?
The other quarterback, the backup quarterback, is it Allen? Something? Allen? Kyle Allen? Or I don't know what his name is. That's a very good question.
Let's see, Purdy. Warriors, but did not practice.
The backup QB is Brandon Allen. It's Brandon Allen. So, I'd almost have to give that one to the Packers. I guess Bosa's hurt.
Yeah, they're both hurt.
They're both hurt. So, I mean, it could be falling apart for the Niners. They could be falling apart for them. Age and injuries have finally caught up with them. That's a possibility. And then, of course, the Lions got the Colts. Don't know if that'll be a cakewalk for them. We'll see what that I'm kind of leaning towards the Colts winning that.
Well, the Lions are due.
Field goal.
Lions are due for one of those games.
Yeah. They are. So, I mean, it could be a 3-point game, go either way. You know? But, yeah, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those weekends. I got a feeling we're going to have another nail biter as a Viking game. I would prefer they blow these guys out, but we're Viking fans. We can't be that lucky. So,
what's a blowout?
Oh God, something we haven't seen since the Houston game. You know,
yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I have a complaint about this team. Like last week's game was the fact they didn't blow out the Titans. The fact that they only won by 10. Mm-hmm. I understand they're not the Lions. I understand that, but you would still expect them.
Well, you know what? Addison missed a TD pass. He took a shot for it, but he missed a pass in the end zone. And then Naylor dropped that bomb. Completely went through his arms. So I mean, right there, they make those two touchdowns. They make the point afters. That's 37 points. So it should have been a blowout.
Yeah.
It should have been a blowout, but I don't know. For some reason, KLC just doesn't have it in his DNA to blow somebody out. If he does, it's a shock.
Well, this game should be a blowout because the offensive line for the Bears suck.
Jenkins is playing. Tevin Jenkins is going to play.
Like I said, the Chicago Bears offensive line sucks. By the way, I don't know why this side of the screen is dark, but all my lights are on, so I don't know if there's something going on with my camera or what. But
if I didn't have the desk light here, I'd be sitting in damn near darkness.
Yeah. But Caleb Williams being a rookie, I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything against. I think the Flores defense is going to confuse him. They might get that's why I'm saying 13 points. They might get one or two plays, but other than that, I don't know. We all know CJ Stroud's a better quarterback, and he couldn't figure out the Vikings defense. So I don't know why they think Caleb Williams would be able to.
Right. See what happens. I mean, I'm bracing for a 10-point game. That's, I don't think it'll be, like I said, I would love to have a blowout, but I don't think it will be.
Yeah, I mean, history also shows that it isn't either.
Yeah, history is another thing. That's another thing. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right, Bob. Naylor does have hands of stone. He does. That pass hit him right. You couldn't put it any better, and it went right through his hands. So, what's up, Gil? But I mean, yeah, that's 7 points right there, which would have been 30. And like I said, Addison, who took the shot, they did get the touchdown, but I mean, he took a shot in the end zone, but that was another 7. So, I mean, the last 2 weeks, the Vikings have been offensively challenged.
I don't. It seems like their offense should be better than what it is right now.
You're right, Bob. It wasn't the only drop.
No, he had 2 in a row for 2 games.
Yeah, he's missed some key passes since London. He's missed some key passes. Yeah, he got the touchdown against the Colts, but he has missed some key passes. So we'll see what happens. There's no Josh Oliver, so that means you'll get more Johnny Munn. You'll probably get more TJ Hawkins.
Yeah, I haven't seen the injury report. Let me see.
Oliver's out.
He what did he have? A shoulder or something, right?
No, Oliver was a foot.
I know Sam Darnold also had a foot injury. Let me see. God, they make it so small.
Yeah, he's got a foot, so we'll see what happens. I think Nick Muse can come back.
Well, Nick Muse is a healthy scratch. So
He's a healthy scratch?
He's always a healthy scratch.
Well, he's been on IR.
So they came off like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, he had the 21-day window. We might see linebacker Gabe Murphy on Sunday. I don't know, but we might see him. So,
well, for the Bears, let's see, they have 2 players out too. Bates and Hicks is out.
What does Hicks play?
Defensive back.
What
Keenan Allen is questionable. He did not practice.
Keenan Allen's questionable? Gee, imagine that.
Yeah. Hey, I said the same thing.
I imagine that. You thought he'd line up because he caught, 17 passes last year against him. You figured he'd want to line up against him, but.
Caleb Murphy and Nick Muse are questionable.
Okay.
They're both on the 21-day practice window.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Josh Oliver is out. I think that is it. It says Josh Oliver remained out of practice on Friday and having missed every practice this week. It's not surprising that he's out of the game in Chicago. Hopefully his ankle will have healed and he's ready to go next week. Gabe Murphy and Nick Muse are both listed as questionable, and the 21-day window to come back from IR. Murphy's window is almost closed, so he seems more likely to be activated with a corresponding roster move. Muse could also be activated, especially with Josh Oliver out, but he'll need to wait wait and see on both. Other than that, there's no Vikings destination.
Okay.
So Sam Darnold's foot must not be bad enough to be get put on there.
No,
But he did hurt his foot last week against the Titans.
with as much scrambling as he did in the pocket, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
He got out of a couple of jams there. So I take it Reisner's going to start again then, huh?
It didn't say, but I think the Ingram experiment is over. I would think so.
Okay. Well, the Bradbury experiment should be next.
We usually wait for Sarah to come on before we put this link out, but for some reason Sarah's not coming on yet. But this is the link to go ahead and come on the show and talk about whatever you want to talk about. But yeah, I think Naylor needs to catch the ball a little bit better to be considered a reliable third receiver.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he was doing earlier in the season, he's got to find it because he has been the same since he got back from London. And he even had problems in London. Didn't he fumble a punt in London, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I mean, whatever he had earlier in the season, he's got to find that again. So
Yep. That's the other drop he had was against the Rams.
the Rams, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's the one I was talking about. But because that was a harder catch, but still, you got to catch those.
You got to catch those. Well, basically, I mean, he was wide open. He was wide open and didn't come up with it. Those are the catches you got to make.
Yeah, you have to make those catches.
Yep. You're in the big leagues now. You got to make those catches. So
yeah, like look at the catches that Hawkinson makes. Look at the catches Justin Jefferson makes. Even Addison. I mean, they're all. You're supposed to make contested catches. You're supposed to make difficult catches. That's what you get paid to.
Hell, Hawk is making catches and taking shots afterwards. My God.
Yeah, I don't think he played much after that shot he took.
No, he took that shot, and I'm like, it's a wonder he got up.
But they're going to need him this week, though, especially with Oliver being hurt.
Yeah.
Because Tunyon's no longer on the roster, right?
Oh, I think they brought him back. They cut him, and I thought they brought him back.
Because then you can't have Johnny Munt and Hawkinson as your only two tight ends.
No. I'm about to find out now. He might be back on practice squad. But yeah, that's why I was asking about Muse. They got to run the ball Sunday too. Depending on the weather, they got to run the ball.
Well, seeing how the Bears give up 4.8 yards a carry. I was even watching a Bears podcast, and they're like, I don't understand why teams just don't run the ball 20 straight times on the Bears. They can't stop the run.
No, they can't.
So we will see if KOC runs the ball this week. The Vikings, the defense. I saw that there's 10 defensive Viking stats.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings are top 5 in 9 out of the 10. The only one they're not top 10 in is the passing yards allowed.
Yeah, and that's kind of like garbage yards.
Yeah, they only allow 2.7 yards a carry. They have the number 1 run defense. It was Tennessee last week, but the Vikings.
Okay, Tanyan is on practice squad.
Okay, so they might activate him.
They might activate him.
If Nick Muse can't go, then they'll activate him.
Right. I just noticed something. They got a couple of guys. They got Gaskin on practice squad.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of linemen on practice squad. One is Henry Bird. He's a guard.
Bird. Bird is a word.
He's a 6'5" from Princeton. And then they've got I remember this guy when he played at Illinois. He's a tackle, 6'6", 325, Julian Pearl. So they've actually got some players that they should be looking to give us some time to. Um, but yeah, and then Taki Timani is coming off of IR, I think next week. So
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they really need him next week. Um, we'll find out.
well, next week is Arizona.
Right. Um, to get some push up the middle.
Yep.
Um,
Bob, I mean, Laquan's best year was his last year with us. He actually found the end zone. Up until then, he hadn't been in the end zone, I think, once. Troy was it was bad and just went downhill after that. And then Brad Childress didn't like him at all. So it's probably a bad pick.
I think it was it was an eye issue or something.
It was a height issue, and he had catching issues. He really
Well,
did.
I think he had an issue with his eyes or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
And the Laquan was just Laquan.
Laquan was just bad.
But Laquan's still in the league.
Well, it's because he's big.
Yeah, he's still in the league. I mean, if you can play for as long as he has, still get a check.
Well, he gets that. He's been in the league long enough to get that pension.
Yeah, he can now get a pension.
And that's what most people. That's what most people want to. They at least stay in the league long enough to get that pension.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the average NFL career is 3.5 years, which is not long enough for the pension.
Right.
But 5 years, you have to be at least in to get the pension.
Well, you've got guys that have only played like 4 years or less in the NFL, literally working at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's
that's why you always have to maintain the communication bridge with the university, because if you're all one of these guys that leaves early, doesn't graduate, you always want the opportunity to go back.
Yeah.
Now with the NIL deals, they don't struggle as much as they used to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're talking about there's a quarterback who's coming in. He's a 5-star quarterback, and they're talking $18-19 million a year. I'm like, why? I'm like, he's a 5-star quarterback. He's a freshman. He hasn't proven a goddamn thing. At least wait till him play. At least 2 plays before you give him that much money, because you can't take NIL money back once you give it to a player.
No, I think if they're going to do that, at least have the player have at least a year or 2 invested in college, and then take it from there. But just right out of college, hell no.
Like our quarterback is probably going to get a huge NIL deal. Lenore Sellers, he's probably going to get a huge NIL deal.
I'm going to be looking for a quarterback next year because Bozemer's a senior.
Because they're talking about Cam Newton type for South Carolina's quarterback.
Oh, that could be.
But could throw better than Cam Newton. Yeah, he's 6'4", 245.
Are you serious?
And he runs a 4.4.
Jeez.
And his biggest issue was his was throwing, but now he's throwing. So Childress couldn't get a quarterback or a wide receiver, Bob.
Childress wasn't very good at picking at all.
Yeah.
He really wasn't. I mean, Greenway got hurt his first year. So, and then after him was AP. He couldn't go wrong there.
Well, AP only dropped to 7 because he had quote unquote a shoulder injury in college.
He had a shoulder injury.
Away from.
Plus, all he could do was run. Is the fact that he fumbled a lot in college too.
Yeah.
That was 07. Who was it in 08? We made the trade for Jared Allen.
Yeah. So we lost our first pick that year.
09 was Percy Harvin.
Yeah.
And then
he dropped because of the migraines. And then 2010 was we traded that pick. Who do we take top pick that year? It's a defensive back, I believe. Was that? Should take.
I believe it was why do I think it was a safety. Yeah, AP's first TD was a swing pass. And if you remember, Davey, he bobbled that.
Yep, gets the Falcons.
Yeah, against the Falcons. He bobbled that. But then when he had the game against the Bears, his breakout game was against the Bears.
So the 2010 draft, they didn't have a first round pick because I think it still belonged to. I think the Chiefs still had it for 2010. Chris Cook.
The Vikings traded out of the first round.
Chris Cook.
That's who it was, Chris Cook.
Gerhardt.
Toby Gerhardt, who never fumbled in college, but he got to the pros and fumbled.
Yep. Everson Griffin.
Okay.
Chris.
All pro.
Chris DeGreasy or whatever.
Oh, Chris DeGear.
DeGear, yeah. And then the guy from they took a linebacker from Minnesota.
What's his name?
Nate
Triplett.
Nate Triplett. Then Joe Webb, sorry.
Joe Webb, yeah.
Mickey Schuler.
Oh yeah, that's the Jets Mickey Schuler's kid. He played at Penn State.
Yeah, yep. And then Royce, running back. How did he get out? No wonder why he's so quiet in the house. The cat actually got out. That's why it's so quiet in here.
Yeah, that was Childress's last draft. It was not good. It was not a good draft for him.
Well, people criticize Spielman, but other than finding a quarterback and interior lineman, his drafts weren't awful.
Who? Childress?
No, Spielman.
No, it's he had some decent drafts. His only problem was the whole offensive line. He just botched the offensive line. He'll get heat for the Ponder draft.
I think he panicked.
Yeah. That class for quarterbacks was not good at all.
Yeah, they all ended up being bad.
Yeah, that class was not good at all. That's probably the worst. And of course, we don't know with Teddy because Teddy got hurt.
Yeah.
So,
and this last draft, be glad the Vikings got a quarterback in this last draft because this next season, 2025 draft, because I'm already doing like mock draft stuff. The quarterback class is not very good. Just two quarterbacks probably taken in the first round. That's it.
That's it.
Cam Ward and Sanders.
Well, tell you what, Sanders will go wherever Dion goes.
So they're taking Vegas right now for Sanders. But now that the Giants got rid of Daniel Jones, no one knows nobody knows what the Giants are going to do. Are they going to sign a veteran? Because the quarterback class is, like I said, the quarterback class coming out of college this year is not good.
Well, we won't know because you know who's next is Brian Daboll. He's going to get let go.
They said they like him. They said they may not fire him because the quarterback play has been so bad that they're kind of blaming the bad quarterback play. And then they were going to start DeVito or whatever his name. But then Drew Lock is like, why are they starting DeVito? And I'm sitting right here. And I think they switched to Lock now. I think Lock is starting.
No, it's DeVito.
Oh, it's still DeVito?
It's still
I heard that they were going to switch to Lock. So that means
DeVito's on a short leash.
You know what that means though, that the owners of the Giants want to tank. And Dabo is okay. Dabo's okay. I'll tank. That's the only way you start DeVito over Lock.
I don't know. And that may be maybe that's where the Giants are making their mistake. Maybe Dabo's not that good of a coach.
So, I mean, the Giants, as of right now, I think the Giants have the third pick.
Mm-hmm.
So if Jacksonville can win a game somewhere, and if Tennessee can win a game somewhere, the Giants get the first pick.
Yeah, God. Bad enough we got to watch the freaking Giants on Thanksgiving.
Giants, yeah, and then the Bears.
Yeah, the Packers are that night against the Dolphins, right?
I don't know who the night, but so is it really the Cowboys Giants on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yep. Cowboys,
What
Giants,
what
Bears,
a
and Lions. Dolphins and
horrible
Packers,
game.
I think, are the nightcap. And then Black Friday is Raiders and Chiefs.
That's no very good games. The Dolphins game is probably going to be the best.
Yeah, because you don't know which Dolphins team is going to show up.
Well, they've been good with Tua. They've been good with Tua. Is it in Miami or is it in Green Bay?
No, it's in Green Bay. And it's going to be below 40 degrees.
So why would there be 3 NFC North games on Thanksgiving?
Ask the NFL. Ask the NFL. We just played on Thanksgiving in 2022.
For the Vikings don't play on Thanksgiving a lot.
No.
I think it's been 6 times, 7 times. I think.
Yeah,
they're 5-2.
Who else we lose to on Thanksgiving?
Well, 5-2. I think they lost to the. I think they probably lost to the Lions.
We lost to the Lions once. So that was with Warren Moon.
So it's probably the Cowboys. It was probably the other one.
Oh, did we lose to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving?
Because there's only been Lions and Cowboys for the longest time on Monday.
Till that third game.
Until that third game, right? The Vikings,
which is where we beat the Patriots.
Yeah,
I think we're 6-1.
I thought it was 5-2. It might be 6-1.
I thought we were 6-1. Hold on. Hey, if anybody wants to come on, feel free. There's the link.
Yeah, I got the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come on. Yeah, Moss destroyed the Cowboys on that 1998. That was more. That was a lot of sticking it to the Cowboys because Jerry Jones says if you're there, we're picking you, and he didn't.
And we beat the Lions a couple. We beat the Lions a couple times on Thanksgiving. Lost to them once. Beat the Cowboys a couple times on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I know they beat the Patriots. Let's see.
Says we're 7-2. 7-2 all time.
I knew we had 2 losses.
We lost 2016.
We
lost 2016 to Detroit.
Yeah.
And we lost 44. I remember that Detroit game. We lost 13-16. That was the Sam Bradford year. Okay.
Yeah, so they've never lost to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Never lost to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the Lions. Okay. All right. I forgot about that game in 2016. Which was just
I could have swore I saw it too for the losses. So when you were kind of trying to throw me up. So there's the link again.
Davey, we shut out the Lions 27-0 in 69. And then we shut them out, I think, 23-0 in 1988. I don't think we shut them out. Did we shut them out again? I don't think so. I could be wrong. 27-0.
27-0. Let me see.
Oh, Davey, the 13-0 game was not on Thanksgiving. I know which game you're talking about. That's 93. That wasn't on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they beat the Lions 23-0.
In 88.
Chuck Nelson. Detroit beat them 40-38.
Yeah, 44-38, 95.
Then they beat the Minnesota. Beat the Cowboys 46-36. 27-15 Vikings. Yeah. So looks like just that one shout. Let me see.
Yeah, for Thanksgiving it's just a 2, 69 and 88.
Yeah. So
yeah, the 13-0 Davy you're thinking of was 1993. Scotty Graham was the leading rusher that game. We sacked Rodney Peete like 7 or 8 times. So
2022 Vikings win over the Patriots 33-26. 2017 the Vikings played the Lions 30-23. 2016 was a 16-13 loss.
Okay.
2000 against the Cowboys was 27-13.
Mm-hmm.
So Vikings went 16 years without playing on Thanksgiving. 1998 they beat the Lions 46-36. That game was not as close as the score.
That was the Randy Moss game, and then the Cowboys got garbage points at the end.
Right. Then they lost to the Lions 44-38, 95. And then 83, 23-0. 87 was 44-33, and then 1969 was 27-0.
That wasn't 83. That was 88.
Sorry. Sorry, I have this new security thing. It
keeps popping up on you to let you know it's there.
Yeah. And so 89 was 27-0. So it says here. And then so the 3 so the 3-0 against the Cowboys, or 1-0 against the Patriots, and they're 3-2 against the Lions.
Yep. Yeah, the only one we ever played with consistency was the Lions.
Yeah.
No, the Lions ain't losing on Thanksgiving this year. They got the Bears.
Well, you never know. It's a divisional game.
The thing with the Lions, Bob, even when they had bad teams, for some reason, they won their Thanksgiving games. I mean, I think the most famous one I remember is the one where they played the Bears in overtime. Vince Evans scores the game-tying touchdown at the end of regulation. They make the extra point. They go into overtime. And the opening kickoff, Dave Williams returns for a touchdown. And that was in 1980, and that ended the game. So, and that year, the Lions were in the middle of a playoff chase with the Vikings. So, every so often they have sorry-ass games, but every so often they have some pretty damn good games. So, but this year's games are just, the Lions are winning, but who wants to watch the Bears? Who wants to watch the Cowboys and Giants? And for that matter, who really wants to watch the Dolphins and Packers? This just does nothing for us. Does nothing for me.
Yeah, but still gonna watch though.
Still gonna watch.
Yeah, people will still watch it though because it's the Cowboys. People will watch because they're Cowboys fans, want them to win. People will watch.
They'll watch it because it's football,
right? And then not only that, people will watch it because it's the Cowboys, and there's Cowboy fans who want them to, they're America's team, so people will watch them.
Okay, he's some sorry ass jokers.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the other half will watch to see him lose.
You got Cowboy fans that don't like him no more. That's the funny part.
Yeah,
there are Cowboy fans that are trashing him. You've really hit rock bottom as a Cowboys if your own fan base is trashing you. I'm just being honest.
First of all,
that ain't happening.
The Bears are not going to get. They're not going to get anywhere. They're going to get anywhere near 30 points against the Vikings. Nowhere near it.
Bears will be lucky to get 20.
If the Bears win, it'll be one of the typical 13-8, 13-9, one of those type of games. It's not good. The Bears are not getting 38.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're not saying that the Bears don't have. We're not going to say the Bears don't have a chance to win because fluky things happen when they play in Chicago. But yeah, the only teams who have scored anywhere over 30 points there is against the Vikings are the Rams and the Lions. You guys are neither one of those teams offensively. So, yeah. I don't know what's up with my camera. I don't know why it's so dark. It's kind of freaking me out. I'm probably gonna have to go buy. I'm probably gonna have to order one of those ring lights off of Amazon.
Right.
I don't know, or look. I'm gonna have to look at the settings in my camera to see why it's so dark.
I'm just using, like I said, I'm just using my desk lamp.
Yeah. Well, I got you can see the lamp on the table next to me, and that's if I didn't have that on, I wouldn't be getting any light. But
I hear the cat.
Yeah, he's back inside. I was thinking. Hey, I'm doing my show.
Okay, I'll just let you know I got an appointment.
Okay, I'll let you know.
All right,
I love you.
love you too, man.
Sorry, my nephew called.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but I don't know why a Bears fan. I mean, I know he's probably just trolling. I mean, I don't know if he really believes that or not, but yeah, they only got 3 against the Patriots and Chiefs. Yeah, well, they got a new offensive coordinator, so we don't know.
Oh, they think they're like the most high powered football team since they got the new coordinator.
Yeah,
You know.
He improved on some things, but you're not getting 30. If the Vikings give up 30 points to the Bears, they might as well just pack everything up and just end the season tomorrow. Sunday.
Well, if they get their asses kicked by the Bears, season's a wrap.
Right. Yeah.
Season's a wrap. Because that's
But
embarrassing.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, that's
we're not saying the Bears can't win because, like I said, weird shit happens at Soldier Field when the Vikings play there. But KOC has never lost in Chicago.
No,
he's lost to Chicago, just not in Chicago.
Yeah.
So,
Chris is definitely trolling.
Yeah,
he's definitely trolling.
Yeah. Yeah, for a defense that gives up 4.5 yards a carry, that ain't happening.
Yeah, and Caleb, I can see Caleb throwing 4 INTs, but he's not throwing 4 TD passes.
Darnold 0 what?
0 touchdowns.
0. Oh, like your quarterback who hasn't had one since they played in London 6 weeks ago.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Only stat he's got up there that actually makes sense is Sweat getting 3 sacks.
That ain't gonna happen.
No. And if he does,
guys, go ahead, cover him 1-on-1.
And if he does get 35, he's going to have at least 1 touchdown with it.
Well, it depends. It depends on what side Sweat's playing on. If he's going against O'Neal, he ain't getting 3 sacks. He's just trolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not making the playoffs.
Okay. Are you talking about like a team that's in the playoff race right now, not going to make the playoffs? Or are you just talking in general? Because I think the NFC, I think the AFC is pretty much almost set, pretty much. The NFC, I could see the NFC West, maybe one of those teams getting in. Maybe the Rams knocking the Packers out or something like that, depending. But I think the NFC, I think it's the top. I think it's those 9 teams that are like hovering around the playoffs. I think those
teams that still have a chance. Everybody in the North, NFC North, except for the Bears. Washington, Philadelphia still have a chance. Atlanta, I'll tell you what, the NFC South is wide open. So
yeah.
And then
sometimes the teams fail the guy.
Yeah. And then in the West, I don't know. The 49ers will probably not make the playoffs. I'm just going to say that right now. Yeah, Cincy is probably out. The way Pittsburgh and Baltimore are playing, Cincy would probably be the odd team out. Denver is making moves.
I think Denver makes the playoffs.
I think they do too. In the AFC East, who do you have? Buffalo? Buffalo's a shoo-in.
Buffalo's going to win the East. I think Josh Allen gets the MVP. But what do I know? People, the Dolphins are still in it.
I don't know. They're going to start playing some cold weather games.
But I think the Bills are the only team to make it out of the East. Pittsburgh, Baltimore out of the North.
Yeah, right.
Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos out of the West.
And then
the Texans.
Houston Texans in the South.
Yeah, I think that's 7.
Yeah, the Dolphins ain't going to make it.
Yeah.
Dolphins ain't going to make it. Since he probably won't make it, you can blame their defense for that.
Yeah.
So, you know what, Jim? It doesn't look good to lose to the Saints, but they're 4-1 in their division. The Falcons are. So they'll probably, just on the basis of that, probably win the division. Will they get 10 wins? I don't know. 9-8 actually wins that division. But I mean, the division's not strong.
I said my nephew, not my cousin, Mom. Dylan called.
So, yeah, but Tampa and Cincy are probably out. Now, in Cincy, should what's his name be out? If Cincy doesn't make the playoffs this year, you think Zach Taylor gets fired?
I think he gets fired anything.
Oh, regardless, you think he gets fired?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if Atlanta wins the division or not. If the Bucks can get healthy, I think the Bucks will catch them.
Yeah, but they've already beat the Bucks twice.
Hey, no.
Atlanta's already beat them twice.
No. Bear fan can come in here. This is open. This is Friday free for all. I mean, he's going to get cooked, but the Dolphins are. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be able to.
No. Only troll on this thread is you, Chris.
Yeah.
You're the only troll.
No, you're coming on someone else's podcast and calling them trolls.
Yeah.
It's probably not even a Bears fan. It's probably a Lions fan trolling as a Bears fan. Because the Lions fans have gotten so arrogant.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you what, with Taylor, Jamar Chase right now, I think he's talking too much.
I don't know how to do that, Bob.
I think he's talking too much, but we'll see. But the Bengals need defensive help. They need a defense. So yeah, they're not going to make it. I'll tell you what, depending on the rest of the way, hell, Packers could fade too. So
I don't know, Sweet Davey, you guys going out to have a couple beers? I guess you should call it a date.
Well, Breezy, they got Burrow. I don't know if they have enough money for Chase, but I do know Mike Brown is a stingy owner. So, I mean, if he wants to stay competitive, he's got to pay him. But you got to have Burrow some weapons. I mean, he's not going to be the type that is going to be like, okay, he might start complaining after a while if you don't help him out on that offense. So I don't even know how Taylor got that job. I have never heard of the guy until he got that job. Taylor. You know,
Because the head coach, who was the head coach of the Bengals before Taylor?
wasn't that
No, they don't have enough money for Chase and Burrow.
they don't?
Unless Burrow. Well, I'm going more by the owner.
Yeah, because Mike Brown is stingy.
Yeah.
He's cheap as hell. Yeah, he's cheap. He wants to get paid like JJ. But JJ's getting paid and not killing our cap. That's the best thing.
Well, here's the thing about Justin Jefferson is that these other guys can talk about being good, but Justin Jefferson he's already the best receiver ever in the history of the NFL. His first 4.5, 5 years in. Well, this is what, 5.5?
Has he been in the league that long?
Yeah.
God, time's flying.
He has more yards than Rice, more yards than Moss, more yards than Owens. Who else was on that list? There was a couple other wide receivers who had a lot of high numbers that he's already passed. So at this point in his career.
Yeah, and I always go back though to it's a different era. You know, that's good to know, but it's a different era. I mean, for the numbers that those guys put up in their era of football, that was still a running league then. That was phenomenal. Now it's kind of a given. I hate to say it because of the way that the game has changed. Can he pass Jerry?
Well, he already has more yards than Jerry Rice so far in his career.
So far in his career, yeah.
It's not even close. It's not even close. He's like he's like almost 1,000 yards of Rice at this point of his career.
Yeah, and
Justin Jefferson has a chance to hit 1,000 yards this game.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. And the Bears are going to single coverage,
and they're only on week 9.
And the Bears are gonna single coverage him. So, I usually while they're still playing with players and they're putting up those numbers like they are, I usually wait till their career's over, and then
I'm sorry, Chris, that the Bears have never had a wide receiver to compare to Jerry Rice. So I know you don't know what that talk is like, just like it's not. Just like you've never had a quarterback that's ever going to be even close to the Hall of Fame. Quarterbacks is where Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die. How Caleb Williams is playing right now is how I expected Caleb Williams to play. Not very good because he's in Chicago. So
depends on how he paints his nails.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, it's Chicago's basically if you're a quarterback, you go there to die, and if you're a wide receiver, you die a quicker death.
Well, first of all, you can't talk about the titles the Bears won before the Vikings were even a team, because the Vikings didn't have a chance to win those titles. Yeah. And you guys are one of the oldest team, and you only have 9 titles. I mean, you only have 1 since the Vikings have been around. So, which is the same.
I mean, if you're gonna really talk about the Bears, outside of that string in the '80s with Ditka, y'all been also Rams. Except for that one year you had with Rex Grossman, you played the Super Bowl against the Colts, and Peyton Manning went in there and put on a clinic on your defense. He made Urlacher and Briggs look lost with the scheme they had. And the scheme was to get them in space, and that's what worked. And it did. And, I've always thought of the Bears as like the team for great middle linebackers, but outside of that, I don't think you guys. Yeah, we are the last NFL champions.
Yeah.
We are. We were the last one. This is what people don't understand about that. When you had the leagues were separate, when you won the Super Bowl, you were called the world champions. They didn't start calling them Super Bowl champions till like the 80s. They were always called the world champions of American football. And they didn't start calling it the Super Bowl. It had the nickname Super Bowl, but they didn't really make it the thing until like Super Bowl II. But they didn't start calling them Super Bowl champions until well into the 70s, early 80s. So up until then, you were world champions of American football. That's what you were called. So Minnesota was the last true NFL champion. When the leagues were separate, the Minnesota Vikings were last. So Abrizi, the Vikings have 4 Super Bowl rings. The teams that lose the Super Bowl also get rings. So technically, the Vikings have 4 Super Bowl rings. So the teams do get Super Bowl rings. Even if you lose, you get a Super Bowl ring. So anybody, when they come up with that argument, where y'all rings at? We got 4. We don't have the trophy. We got 4 rings, though. And if they got a problem with that, tell them they can write a letter to the NFL and complain about it. It's I mean, all you got to do for a lot of people is read a history book, and you can tell the ones that argue that point ain't never picked up a book in their lives. They probably never even Googled. They probably, let alone, can't spell Google. So, it's like whatever. So were they called? Okay, Jim. Sometimes they were called Super Bowl champions, but growing up, and I remember this, they were not calling them Super Bowl champions. They were calling them world champions for a long time. When it got to the 80s, then they became Super Bowl champions. So,
yeah, I don't know how to do that, Bob. I see you have it for Yogi's channel, but I don't know how to. I'll look it up, Bob. And
right.
when I look it up, I'll go ahead and give you that. Yeah. Let's see how brave Chris is. All right, there you go, Chris. There's the link. But I doubt he comes on.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's a link, Chris. If you got something to say, come on up. Come on on. Come on and say it. It's right there in the chat.
Yeah.
No, you're not talking. You're typing. There's a difference. You're not talking. You're typing.
But just so you know, Lions fans who talk a lot of the Lions fans who talk shit in the chat when I put up the link, they can actually come on.
Yeah, Lion fans got guts. I can tell you ain't got none.
Yeah.
Exactly, Davey. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's lucky Sarah's not here. Yeah. I didn't say titles don't count. You're misrepresenting what I'm saying is you can't compare titles that were won before the Vikings had a chance to win them.
Yeah.
So if you want to say, yeah, the Bears have 9 titles, okay, that's all well and good. Congratulations. But how many have they won since the Vikings have been a team? They've won 1.
Yeah, just the one.
Just as many as the Vikings have.
Yeah, just as many.
So You know, I'm just saying. You can't say that the Vikings only have one
Okay, and by
championship.
the way, Chris, it's not your fault. It's not. But guess what? The first team the Vikings ever beat was the Bears. And
So
the
what I'm
Bears beat that ass handily. So guess what?
what I am saying though is that we're not saying the top we're not saying the Bears don't have 9 titles. We're not saying that.
No, we never said that at all.
Yeah. What we're saying is you say, well, the Bears have 9 titles, the Vikings only have 1. Well, the Bears have been a team since the 30s. The Vikings
And
have
those
only been
titles were all before World War II.
right. The Vikings have been around the 60s. So when you say the Vikings have only 1 championship compared to the Bears 9, well, technically that's why. And I don't care what team it is. It could be, it could be the Ravens, or it could be the Browns versus somebody, or you can't compare. You say this team has this many championships and this team has this many championships. Well, like the Packers say they have all these championships, right? Well, that's all well and good, but all those championships they won before the Vikings were even a team. You can't compare those directly to Minnesota because Minnesota wasn't around. They didn't have a chance to win those.
Curtis, why are you explaining this?
I'm just,
Why are you wasting your breath? Seriously, he's an idiot.
So
if he can read a damn book, if he can read history, he'll find out about it. He's just in here running his yap, thinking he knows what the hell he's talking about, coming up with, he's the one moving the goalpost. That's like, really, motherfucker, please. I know more about your damn Bears team than you do. Get the fuck out of here.
If he's even a Bears fan.
Well, if he's a football fan, he ain't very smart. I'm just being honest.
What up, Davey?
What's up, guys? I'll stay on here as long as my tablet allows me to.
Well, if you don't drop it.
Well, that's the thing. I've dropped it so many times.
I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Gola? What's a gola?
I don't know. That's just, I mean, like even when you look at comparisons of teams, they talk about championships with those teams. They always say pre-modern era when they talk about the championships that teams won pre-modern era. Like on the bottom, it'll say like Packers. It'll say 13 championships, but it'll say like 9 pre-modern era or something like that. Where there was only 7 teams, where there was only 6 teams.
They think it's
like the Montreal Canadiens, right? They have the second most titles of all professional sports, right? But
27.
How many? Yeah, how many of those have they won? When it was just the original 6, they were the team that pretty much won every year. So you can't sit there and say the Canadians have 27 championships and the Penguins only have 4, right? So therefore the Canadians are better. Well, the Penguins weren't around for most of those championships that the Canadians won. So while you don't discount those championships for the Canadians, you just can't do a direct comparison to a team that wasn't around back then.
Well, here's the thing. You bring up the modern era, that's a different story. Usually what they'll do is the Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
And that's been the last 60 some. That's been
right.
Because same age as me. I'm Super Bowl started in 67. I was 67, 58 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, but Abrizi's right. You don't hear the Browns bringing up their titles from the past, the Lakers or the Celtics.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people that were around in that era have passed on. But the history is still there. All you got to do is read it. I mean, we still hear. I mean, the Lakers won most of their titles in Minneapolis. So, so we've got a history here where we still talk about them. We still honor them, but we don't bring it up all the damn time. They don't. It's like what you did, considering those teams were in the league from the start. I mean, the Bears were literally from the start, and the Packers.
and the Cardinals.
and the Cardinals.
Those three
And-
teams have been around since the NFL,
Right.
before, pretty much before the NFL.
Just
Around
after
the NFL.
World War,
Yeah.
it started after World War One.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
Now, if you want to compare the Bears to the Cardinals, that's a fair comparison.
that's a fair comparison. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You
a
know,
fair comparison.
Yeah. If you want to compare, but you see, here's the thing though, they won't compare them to the Packers
No,
because the Packers have more. You know, he's
Mhm.
only in here talking because he knows what the Vikings history is. He won't go to a
he don't even know the Vikings. He don't even know his
Right.
own history.
Brandon, you know, the
Yeah,
Lions.
and Giants. Yeah, the Giants were 25. So
Right. Yeah. And
Hey, Chris, who's the Decatur Staleys? Do you know who they are?
yeah, they were the pre-Chicago Bears.
he probably doesn't know that.
Yeah, that was the Chicago. That was the Chicago Bears before they became the Chicago Bears. They were the Decatur Staleys. So no, I didn't. I said Minnesota has titles. Lakers got more in LA, but they've got a few here in Minneapolis. Actually, Minneapolis. They weren't Minnesota. They were Minneapolis.
Bud was on one of those teams.
Yeah, Bud was on one of those teams.
Yeah.
I want to say Bud won an NFL championship too with the Eagles. You know? Yeah. Yeah, we had 8 titles in Minnesota with the Lakers. So
Yeah.
technically in Minnesota they are. The Minneapolis Lakers are.
All right. See, now you know Chris is an idiot because he said the Bears had the most wins of NFL history. Of course they fucking do. They've been around since fucking dirt.
Yeah. They're old as Methuselah. Jesus.
That's like college football. Michigan,
Notre Dame.
Michigan has the most wins of college football. Oh yeah, they've been around since
Yeah.
fucking dirt.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
another dumb argument. Well, they got more franchise wins than you. Of
Yeah,
course they
older,
do.
they're fucking older than you, dude. Shit. And considering they didn't even start in Chicago, they were in Decatur.
Right.
You know.
Uh-oh. Hey, Chris, I feel sorry for you.
Oh boy.
Why? What's up?
Have you seen the chat?
Just look at the chat and look at the
Just look at the chat.
look at the shit the Bears fans saying.
Yeah.
I gotta get a drink twice.
I
there.
can't see the chat that well. I'm on my phone.
Oh, he's
Hold your
basically
temper.
saying that he's
Sarah,
bringing.
hold your temper.
Yeah, he's bringing up the
Got the
past.
parental advisory sticker up.
He says the Vikings suck. He says the Bears are going to kick their ass on Sunday, 38-3. Caleb's going to throw 4 TD passes, and
yeah,
then-
just like how they did with the Pats, right?
yeah. He says,
Beat the Pats first before you come talk shit, okay?
and he's bringing up our past championships, but he's also counting championships before the fucking Great Depression. He's bringing up that past. So
Well, all I got to say is I thought they were going to the Super Bowl this year. How come they're, what, 4-6?
yeah, they are going to the Super Bowl. They buy a ticket. they buy a ticket. Yeah, they'll go to the Super Bowl, or they can just sit their asses on the couch like they have for the last how many years? 20 years.
Man, I just woke up from a nap, and you know what woke me up? I dreamt that we signed Daniel Jones. I was like, oh my God, is this for real? And I woke up, and I was like, oh, it's a nap. Okay.
Yeah, you know what, Sarah? Turn off talk radio. I mean, put it this way. They do say that KOC is a quarterback guru.
I don't care. I do not want Daniel Dirt.
Okay, you got a choice between Daniel Dirt or Nick Mullins.
Fine. God damn. Fine. Like that's what I was kind of thinking too. Like I was like, would it be? I mean, after he clears waivers, would it be so bad to bring him in just to be the backup for this year? Just for this year, you know?
No, it wouldn't be bad at all.
The scuttlebutt here in the East Coast is that he's going to Detroit on Tuesday. He's going to sign with Detroit once he clears waivers.
Really?
That's that's what the New York media's been saying.
Damn.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay, you're on the East Coast, right, Davey?
Yeah.
Does Dabo look secure? Or could he be fired at the end of the season?
I think he's gone.
Well, they're talking about next couple of games he may be gone, but I really don't watch that much, you know.
I think they're both gone.
I mean, all I get is the Jets and the Giants here, and rather watch Mold Grill than watch them play, you know?
They should just merge their teams into one.
Oh, double the heartache?
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference? They both are train wrecks.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, I think the Jets are a bigger train wreck.
Actually, Phil, Chris didn't overrun us. Chris was just talking a lot of bullshit. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, like I said, he can talk all the shit he wants, but they couldn't even beat the Pats. They scored 3 points in the Pats, so shh.
Yeah, they made Drake May look like Tom Brady.
So all this shit talking, blah 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 blah. Well, go. You know what? Beat the Pats, and you couldn't. So hush.
I offered him to come on. He's of course he's afraid.
Yeah, he didn't come on.
Yeah, and he's doing the Packer thing. He's talking about the past.
Yeah, not even the Lions do that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
All right. When you start talking about people in the chat,
all I know was that they were gonna go to the Super Bowl this year. Caleb Williams was gonna take them to the Super Bowl.
Oh fuck, Caleb Williams is taking them nowhere.
You're done, Chris, when you start talking to other people in the chat. You want to talk about the Vikings and Bears and your stupidness, go ahead. But we start talking about people in the chat.
I mean, I don't understand why you got to make personal attacks when you're. I mean, what's the point of making personal attacks? Because this is about the Bears and the Vikings.
Lions had back-to-back championships in the 50s, Breezy. I believe. That was the last time he was relevant.
56, 57, I think it was.
Yeah, 56, 57. I think they were in a championship game before then, and they lost to the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, the greatest Chicago quarterback ever existed was Al Bundy. That's how pathetic that's how pathetic quarterbacks have been in Chicago.
Al Bundy
was not start personal attacks. I just told him to, if he's going to talk shit, know what the hell he's talking about. Trust me, if I started a personal attack, I started a personal attack.
Now, if you want to talk about the Bears and the Vikings, you want to keep it to football. You can say any dumb thing you want. We don't care.
Yeah,
but when you go after, especially not just our.
And I told him to not be an idiot.
but are
If you're
loyal.
gonna know if you're gonna talk shit, know what the hell you're talking about. Especially to somebody like me who knows what the fuck I'm talking about. If you're gonna come on here and talk shit just to be talking and then think you're the smartest motherfucker here, hell no. And I did not start the personal attacks, and even if I did, too fucking bad. I don't care.
Bex, I don't know how long you've been in here, but Chris was an idiot for a while.
What's the name on this? Oh,
Bex is the guy who's in here now, but Chris something was the guy who I banned. Chris.
No, they're all the same trolls. So ban him too. Because I go on Chicago radio, and so I listen to them all the time. Ban him too.
Oh, Bex?
Yep.
They really need a life.
I mean, I go to the team they're playing too, but I might make one comment, or I might say, I don't think the Bears are going to get more than 13 points if they're lucky. I'm not saying the Bears can't win, but if the Bears win, it's going to be like 13-9
the guy.
or something like that.
You're talking about Tris Foster, or huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's how much I know Chicago radio. I've been listening to them for like all week. He's still crying that they took Caleb.
Well, no, now he's talking about team history.
Yeah, now he's talking about how Bears have 9 championships and the Vikings only have 1, when the Vikings weren't around for their first 8 championships.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't compare them.
Yeah, ban them both. I can't stand them.
Well, Bex is just being an idiot. He really hasn't said anything that's,
Not to you.
Oh, did he say something to you?
Yeah, he blamed me for it.
Blame you for.
Yeah, ban him. No.
Yeah, he said I started this shit with Chris, and I didn't.
Oh no, Chris started it, man.
Yeah,
Chris started it.
Started the personal.
Ban him.
I did.
I ban him.
Yeah, I'd be having Chris banned.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't care if you, because they might still be listening even though they can't chat. We don't care what you say about the teams. You can say what you want about the teams, but you can even argue. You can even argue with the people in the chat. Just don't like personal attack them.
Which I've done. I've argued with plenty of people on here.
Yeah, we argue with Lion fans all the time.
Yeah,
So
hell, we got one that swears he's a Viking fan, but I think he's a Lion fan.
I think he says that just to protect himself.
But I mean, yeah, it's like I did not make it personal. I just said, if you're going to talk shit, know what you're talking about.
And I offered for them to come on, and they wouldn't come on. So
yeah, and he didn't want to come on. So you know what? F him. It was like, if I'm a smart ass to you in the chat, trust me, I'm still going to be a smart ass to you when you log on.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to change just to make you feel better. I don't do that.
Yeah.
My God, Sarah, you're rubbing off on me. Jesus Christ. Which, here's the thing. I mean, Saturday's game could go either way. Sunday's game could go either way. So,
well, I just thought of something. I'm a combined 5 losses for my college team and my NFL team this year, and so I'm 16-5 with my pro team and college team this year. And both teams were supposed to have a losing record.
Yeah, you're right, Breezy. There is a million fans like that. It's kind of weird what social media has done to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a place that don't exist, it's the most toxic place.
Yeah.
On earth.
It's the only place where those that don't have balls and wouldn't say anything to anybody else can get behind a keyboard and run their mouths and know damn well whoever they talk shit to won't be looking for them unless they show up at your door.
I'm going to drop the link again if anybody else wants to join. That includes Bear fans that may not be actually talking in the chat, but are listening. You're more than welcome to come in. Like I said, just don't do personal attacks. We
Exactly, Breezy. It gave people with no knowledge and opinion.
Well, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there, and so when you confront them personally, their attitude completely changes.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, it's they when they're called out on their BS, that's when they get an issue. Okay, 27-10 is realistic, but are you going with the Vikings or Bears, Jim? I'm going to stick with mine, 24-14, Vikings.
I said 24-6.
I
I'm
got to
going
be
to go
honest.
24-3.
You're going 24-3, Sarah?
Yep.
What about you, Davey?
31-9.
Vikings?
Yes.
Yep.
Am I the only one who's playing the safe here?
I just don't think that.
Scored a touchdown in what 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
score one on this defense.
I don't think the Bears will get inside our 20. Those 9 points will be 3 field goals outside the 20.
I think and if they do, it'll be late in the game when the game's already wrapped up.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one for us. Who gets to pick 6 on Sunday?
Van Ginkel.
I'll go Harrison Smith.
Okay.
I'm going Van Ginkel because they're going to be throwing a lot of screen passes.
Yeah, that's true. How about you, Davey?
Yeah, Breezy. I agree. I don't think Williams is going to do anything against us.
No. Yeah, Jim, that Viking offense for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's why I didn't give the Vikings 30 points.
Yeah.
They should have. If Naylor doesn't drop those touchdown passes, they have a, I know ifs, ands, buts, and a bucket of crap. I know, but still.
Right. Okay, so Breezy says Cam Bynum.
Okay.
I'm going to say...
I'll say Cam Bynum too.
You'll say Cam Bynum too?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Byron Murphy.
Oh, I didn't think about him.
How about Blake Cashman?
Yeah, watch it be Blake Cashman. Or even worse, watch it be like Jonathan Grenard.
Pace.
Oh, yeah, Pace. Exactly. You know what? In winging it, we don't, and I don't know. On the offensive side of the ball, it all starts up front. I mean, our offensive line is very soft. That's problem number one. Play calling can sometimes be another. It's just there's just no consistency. They were consistent at the start of the year, but not recently. They've come back down to earth, and I don't know why that is.
KOC says he wants to run the ball more. So if that's what he wants to do, then I don't think they'll score 30 points. They'll keep it in the 20s.
Yeah, if they and depending on the two, I don't know what the field's like in Chicago either.
That's a defense in the Bears. That's the weakness of the Bears' defense is their running game. They can't stop the run.
So if we exploit their defense against the run, then we could just keep the ball away from them. We'll probably have 45 minutes.
Yeah, play
45,
ball.
47.
Yeah, they can't run the ball, and they can't stop the run.
Yep. You know, Breezy, I would seriously think about re-signing Murphy. Just put some stability in that defensive secondary, but it also depends on Brian Flores coming back. So we'll see.
And there's more and more steam about him. About I don't know, insiders is the word, or there's talk around like NFL like insiders.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this from another YouTuber who has a known inside connection with the league. He's saying some teams are not afraid to hire Brian Flores.
They're not afraid.
So,
well, you know who else is on that list now, don't you?
John
McCown. Their team's looking at him for a head coaching job. And then
Uh,
we had
are you
our
talking-
Doogie Wilson say that McCown probably has more of a chance of getting a head coaching job than Flores because of the lawsuit. So
I think this is by the way the players are talking about him when they talk about Harrison Smith.
yeah,
I think Harrison Smith has let it known that this is his last year. I don't think Harrison Smith wants to be one of those guys who stays in the league too long, and because the guys who stay in the league too long, the more they play, the worse and worse.
yeah, they break down, they wear down.
They look.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants that. What the hell's going
And
on? My
he
camera?
kind of looks like that at times.
God, my dogs are so dumb.
Did you wake up your dog?
No, my dogs go in the back bedroom. The cat can go into. The cat knows how to open the door.
Oh, okay.
And so he can get in and out. And the dogs can open the door to get in, but they can't figure out to get out the same way. But the dogs know that if they hit the door handle, they can lower it and get in, but they can't figure out to do the same thing to get out because they actually have to back up to get out.
Oh,
the cat's like, man, what are y'all dumb?
Oh, Jesus.
No, you're not. I don't know. He says ban them, but it lets them come back in. So I don't understand. It doesn't really ban them.
Yeah, we're in the off season. We're gonna have to beef up that defense big time, especially the front and the secondary. Griffin and Gilmore are only 1-year deals, so your Blackman should be back next year, depending on how his rehab goes. You're gonna need another corner, but they do have money, so we'll see what they spend it on.
I should go to the what?
You should go to the players. You should go to the team and put your foot in their ass.
Oh.
So we need to beef up on the front line too, depending on what they want to.
Well, Bynum is the one Bynum that is definitely someone they need to re-sign.
But okay.
But Metellus has been struggling, so
he took that bad angle last week, and that's he's kind of come back down.
You take that touchdown away from the Titans, and he throws for like barely over 100 yards.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he only passed for like 201 yard or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that away.
Most of it was on a 98-yard pass.
So you take that away, it's like 103 yards.
Yeah.
But everybody, I mean, in Titans world,
I guess I gotta get dog food out of the back of my car for my dogs. I'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like, he played his best game of the season.
Who?
Titans fans.
Oh, Levis?
Yeah.
If you take away that long pass, he was crap. Yeah, if you take away that long pass, he was crap. I'll tell you what, Tennessee might have had a chance if they weren't as undisciplined as they were.
I don't think so. I don't think they ever had a chance.
I don't think so either. That coach is an idiot.
Yeah, they also had a lot of penalties too, didn't they? Like 9 penalties.
Yeah, they had like
13.
13.
Which was the most.
13. I thought it was 13. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, they had 13.
That's a lot.
A lot of personal fouls.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, they were robbed." I'm like, "You were not robbed. Be more disciplined."
Yeah, you weren't robbed. No, you weren't robbed. When it came time to play, you couldn't do it. Hell, how many times did Levis get sacked? 4 or 5?
5 times.
5 times, yeah. Van Ginkel had 2 sacks, and so did Patrick Jones.
Yeah, and it's like, how were you robbed? I mean, you kept getting called for illegal shift?
Yeah.
That's because you're undisciplined.
Yeah, the illegal shifts, and they got called a couple times for personal fouls.
And Jason,
2 of them were on
their left tackle was saying that the refs were warning him that he was not lining up correctly, and so he fixed it. But so all these penalties were coming from the right tackle.
Yeah. Who was blocking? He was blocking Van Ginkel for the start. Then he was blocking Grenard. Then they had Patrick Jones on. They moved those guys all around. That's why I think with the Bears, I mean, they're going to have problems because it's not like where the Vikings originally line up is not where they stay. And that's going to confuse somebody like Caleb Williams, who he isn't the brightest guy behind the center either.
Well, and I think part of the problem with him is they're giving him way too much responsibilities to do as a rookie. I mean, he's calling protections and all this and that. I'm like,
why they got him calling protections?
Exactly.
You don't have your protection is called by whoever, usually by your center is the one that calls the protections.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna put all that on a rookie?
Yeah, Chicago's a dumpster fire. They really are. The Vikings had, I forget how many penalties the Vikings had, but
we had 3. I think we had 2 or 3.
2 or 3. But I tell you what, the Titans put a couple of hits on Addison. Those players should have been fined.
Yeah,
for sure. And then Darnold threw that one pass too high for him, left and hung him out there to dry. And holy crap, Mike Brown just laid into him. He got flagged for it, and then in the end zone he got hit, which I didn't have too much of a problem with the when he got hit. But you got to let him play defense. But I mean,
yeah, but at the same time, I mean, it's like it's not our problem that a flag was thrown.
No, I'll take it.
Because I mean, if the roles were reversed, would they be? They would be doing the same thing. I mean, a flag is thrown. What are we supposed to say? Oh no, ref, pick it up. No.
Oh, and by the way, the refs did miss another face mask on Darnold last week. This has become a comical. They've missed how many face masks on Darnold? In like the last 4 weeks, they've missed at least 2 a game.
Yeah, he don't got the Mahomes treatment.
No. Hell, he's not even getting the Nick Mullins treatment.
They're like, breathe on him all you want. You ain't get a flag.
Yeah, they'll be staring right at it. Hey, we didn't see a face mask. It's like, come on. But I mean, it's Davey, are you watching TV?
No, I'm trying to look at the chat.
Oh, okay. So I think I want the Vikings to blow them out Sunday, but I just don't see them doing it. I would love for them to blow them out. But
it's gonna be windy.
Well, so that's going to be a problem for our kicker.
Yeah, I hear it's going to be cold. Well, I mean, I guess that. I mean, it's 50, so that's cold to us,
Are you kidding? 50? I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, 50 is actually average, which is actually warm for this time of year because, I mean,
and then what? Purdy and Boza are out. I think their season's done.
I think their season's done too. Deebo Samuels is complaining.
Because they have to win the division to get into the playoffs, and there's just no way. I don't think they're going to be able to win the division.
No, I mean, Minnesota's got the edge on them because Minnesota beat them. So if it came down to a tiebreaker, which is not going to, I mean, the Vikings would have to collapse in order for it to come down to a tiebreaker. Anything's possible, but I think right now, I think the Niners are maybe a year or 2 towards rebuild.
Yeah, they're getting old.
Yeah, and A Breezy, I agree. Their Super Bowl window is closed. It really is. And then,
Well, they're all screaming fire Shanahan.
yeah, that's I wouldn't have hired Shanahan in the first place. I never liked him. Yeah, Purdy's not playing. Purdy's a free agent next year.
But I mean, would you pay Purdy $60 million? I wouldn't.
No. You know what though?
Don't be surprised if Darnold goes back.
I know. I was gonna say
That would not shock me at all if Darnold goes back to the Niners. Would not shock me at all. And you know what? Lynch will pay him that money he wants. Lynch will pay him.
Well, because would you rather pay Purdy $60 million or Darnold around 30, 35 million? You know.
Yeah.
Um,
And Darnold knows the playbook because he was there. So he knows the system. Yeah, I mean, it's well, then also now they got a problem because now Debo wants out. I guess
I
Debo is
traded
just
that.
complaining.
He hasn't done shit.
Who's that, Debo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really complaining.
All he does is beat up long snappers.
You know what, Breezy? It would make sense to stay in the system, but if the team's not going to pay him, that changes everything. And a lot of teams kind of use the same system on offense, except the terminology is different.
Well, and he's young, so he's gonna want to start. He's not ready to be a backup yet, I don't think.
He's a Super Bowl quarterback. That's what he's got going for him. He is a Super Bowl quarterback, so he should be paid as a Super Bowl quarterback.
would the Panthers sign him over? I mean, I know they have Bryce Young, but
they're going to get rid of Bryce Young.
That's dumb. Why didn't they trade him then?
Because it's the Panthers. The owner is an idiot, and the GM is not much better. And you got to find a team that's willing to take that chance on Young.
Yeah, but from the reports I heard, there were multiple teams calling at the trade deadline for him.
And they wouldn't let him go?
No.
Then that's on the Panthers. You know what? It probably is because what's his name loves Young, the owner. He's the one that wanted to draft him.
San Jose and UNLV are playing right now, Tony, if you're looking for a football game.
Who's playing?
San Jose and UNLV.
What quarter?
It's going into the fourth. Fox
ESPN
Sports
2?
Fox Sports 1.
Oh, Fox Sports 1? Okay.
Yeah, 4-point game.
Okay.
But yeah, when you look at the teams that need a quarterback, and the quarterback class being so bad, Darnold and Purdy are both going to get paid and get jobs.
Yeah, that's true.
The problem
Well,
is
and
who
then
wants
the
to pay who.
quarterback class coming into the draft this year is not like the year before. There's like what, 1 or 2?
Two.
It's not like
Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders is pretty much it.
Yeah, it's not like this year's class. As a matter of fact, as good as this year's class was, next year's class is that bad.
And so basically, there's going to be what, 4, 5, 6 teams that need quarterbacks vying for 2 spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so who needs quarterback?
Raiders, Giants,
Browns.
Browns, Jets,
Browns.
So that's what, 5 right there, right?
5 right there, yeah.
Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
You know who might be looking for their quarterback in the future is the Lions.
Oh no, according to he's only 31. He's going to play another 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, they wish. Rams, yeah, the Rams could be looking for a quarterback too. Niners possibly.
Yeah. Niners.
So that's what, 8, 9 Cowboys maybe.
Oh, yeah,
Nah, they're paying Dak $60 million, man. They're stuck with him.
Yeah, but he had that injury where it was off the bone, and depending on who the head coach is going to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. We don't have Washington in this category
or Buffalo
or Buffalo.
or Denver.
Seattle's a possibility too.
If you would have said
Yeah.
Bo Nix was playing better than Caleb Williams by this point, would you have been surprised?
By this time,
Yeah.
No,
honestly, yeah.
See,
I
I don't
don't,
think so
because, I
because it's
mean-
more Caleb being in Chicago than anything else.
Well, if you go by the hype that we got with Caleb, I would expect yeah, but my football sense told me no.
yeah,
But if you go by the hype, you would expect Caleb to be like all world right now. And he's not even
you would
Right,
expect
so-
him to be better than Mahomes.
yeah.
So let's do the quarterback thing. Okay. So the AFC East, the Buffalo definitely does not need a quarterback. The
Mm-mm.
Patriots don't need a quarterback.
Mm-mm.
The Dolphins are way different with Tua,
I'd almost look
but
at
his
this
concussion scares me, so that's a maybe.
That's a maybe.
Right. And then the Jets,
Definitely.
definitely. Okay, so that's at least one. All right, so the AFC North, Baltimore doesn't need a quarterback. Pittsburgh doesn't need a quarterback.
Browns do.
Browns need one. Cincinnati definitely doesn't need a quarterback.
Unless
so that's
what?
two.
You know what though? The Browns might possibly roll with Jameis Winston if he finishes the year pretty good.
Well, the team likes him.
Yeah.
The team has won 2 games since he's been quarterback,
And
right?
them winning just messed up their draft position.
And the AFC West, I don't think the Raiders need a quarterback. The other
Yep.
3 teams are solid.
Yeah.
That
What about the South though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The South Texans have Stroud. The Colts have AR. Tennessee, Will Levis, and
The Jags have
Jacksonville, Lawrence. So I don't think either one of them. I don't think either of those teams get a.
Okay, Breezy brings up a good point. What are the Steelers going to do? They really don't have a quarterback next year.
The talk is because my wife's family's from West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Steeler fans. The talk, from what I understand, is that if the 2 quarterbacks, the one that's probably not going to be there next year is Fields.
Okay. You know where I can see Fields
They're
going?
like they're because they're saying Wilson is playing like in Pittsburgh right now, like he played in Seattle.
I don't know. I'll tell you
But
what.
here's the thing, though.
Hmm.
What makes Russell Wilson good? A good defense. He sucks without a good defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when he was bad in Seattle, guess what? No defense.
Yep.
No, hey, the Broncos.
No
Broncos
defense.
defense was good, but not like Seattle level, not like Pittsburgh
Mm.
level. You know, this year the Denver defense is actually good this year, but it wasn't that same level it is now. So, I mean, that's fine. Good, like Sam Darnold is not. It was probably shit without a good defense, but that's
He was shit with a good offense.
right. So, so then, so the NFC East, obviously the Giants.
Cowboys question mark.
Cowboys question mark. Eagles and Commanders no. The North.
Nope.
Nobody.
Nope. Nobody. The West maybe the Rams because Stafford's age.
Rams in Seattle.
Seattle. And then the South.
Well, you know what? The Niners.
Yeah, the Niners. Well, they're probably going to re-sign Purdy or Sam Darnold. So the NFC West is probably the most division that has quarterback influx of quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
NFC South, Baker's in Tampa. He's not going anywhere. They got
The
Cousins and
Saints need
Penix.
quarterback.
They like Carr though.
Who likes Carr?
Saints.
I guess.
Well, I guess so.
So basically, so what is that? That's what 8.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure 2 quarterbacks are only 2 good quarterbacks in the draft. So that leaves 6 for free agency. So that means
That leaves the Jaguars to they're gonna have a good haul.
so either Purdy, Fields, and Darnold are probably starters next year.
Because
Okay, I see. For some reason,
number 1 pick away, they're gonna get a good haul.
I see Fields in Carolina.
I mean,
I
that
don't know
kind of
why.
makes some sense.
I don't know why. I just see him in Carolina.
So let's just say Winston stays in Cleveland, right?
Okay.
So that's one. Let's say the Giants and Raiders draft their quarterback. So let's say the Giants draft Cam Ward and the Raiders draft Shador Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves what the Rams was a possible, but I don't think the Rams are gonna sign. They may sign Darnold maybe to be a backup until Stafford leaves and then he takes over.
Actually, I gotta hold on, Catch. I gotta answer Jim's question. Darnold, if he comes back next year, he'll be a backup, and I don't think he wants to be a backup. He wants to be paid as a starter. And if with the numbers he's put up this year, good and bad, there are a lot of quarterback-starved NFL teams out there that would pay him what he wants or close.
Well, that's why we just did this process. Like,
Yeah.
how many quarterback positions are going to be open, and how many quarterbacks are going to be out there?
Yeah.
So you only have 2 quarterbacks coming out that are worth first-round picks, right? So like I said, so the Giants and the Raiders are probably going to be the 2 lowest teams that draft a quarterback. So that's that Cam Ward to the Giants and then Shador Sanders to the Raiders. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Brock Purdy is probably the next domino to fall. So where does Donald re-sign with the 49ers, or does he go someplace else? So let's say Brock Purdy goes, I don't know.
Purdy goes to the Jets.
Yeah, Purdy can go to the Jets. Okay, so so who replaces Purdy in San Francisco? The most logical choice is Darnold.
Actually, Breezy, if JJ to back up JJ next year, they're not gonna bring back Mullins. Ideally, it would be Darnold, but Darnold's gonna want too much money
And start.
So,
which makes the room awkward.
I mean, you could bring Fields up here. If something should happen to JJ,
What about Jones to be his backup?
Well, see, here's the thing with Jones. I mean, here's the thing. The talk with KLC is he's this quarterback guru, right? So I could see Jones being a project that KLC would take on to try and fix whatever was wrong with him. Well, what was wrong was he was in New York. But
yeah,
to fix whatever mechanics that he can't have, he'll be a backup. And JJ needs a veteran backup. It's not Mullins. It won't
and going back to the Aaron Rodgers coming to Minnesota, some people think Aaron Rodgers, let's say JJ can't play the first 4 games. Rodgers would start those first 4 games and be a backup. Andrew Rodgers is not a backup.
Rodgers is not a backup.
He will never, ever be a backup quarterback.
Right. And you don't want Rodgers, like I said before.
It would be nice to have that experience
with this team.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that experience behind JJ. Because Aaron Rodgers is going to see shit that JJ won't. So, but for the experience, that'd be a great backup. But
now here's my thing: if you don't upgrade that offensive line, you think Rodgers lasts?
Oh, no, that's why I think JJ. You need someone who's actually who can move a little bit.
No, and a Breezy, that's another thing with Rodgers. He knows more than everybody else, so he's not going to listen to KLC.
Yeah,
he's not. He's not going to listen to KLC at all.
He couldn't get along with Matt LaFleur.
Did you hear?
Exactly.
Speaking of KLC, did you guys see the clip on YouTube about your welcome to the NFL moment?
Yeah.
What did he say?
KLC's like, yeah, my welcome to the NFL moment was when I was with the Patriots. I came into the huddle and I kind of stammered, like I was making the call play, and I stammered, and it made no sense. He's like, Randy Moss is like, oh no, get this guy out of here. I can't play with this guy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Jeez.
I thought that was hilarious.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Well, first things first, what the hell was Randy still doing on the field?
I think it was practice.
Oh, it's practice.
It might have been practice or pre. Well, Randy didn't play in preseason, so it had to be practice.
It had to be practice or
it was a blowout, and Randy was just in there to, I don't know. but he didn't say really when it was. He just said he got in the huddle with Randy. He stammered to play. Randy's like, "Oh no, I can't play with this guy. Get him out of here."
I done played with Cunningham and Brady, and now I got this clown. Hell
Yeah.
no.
I played with Culpepper. I played with Brady. I played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh man. Yeah, I think Rodgers should hang it up, but he won't. His ego won't let him.
He won't.
Yep.
But
See, I like Genty.
Yeah, but what team is going to be dumb enough to?
they have the Vikings taking Genty with the first round pick. I'm all well and good taking Genty with the first round pick if it's pick 31 and 30, somewhere around there.
Well, it also depends too on what we do in free agency.
Right. That's why mock drafts. That's why people do a mock drafts right now. I'm like, hey, I'll watch the mock draft, but I'm not going to put too much stock into it because free agency hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. So when free agency hits, because I like Genty. I would take a chance on him. What were you going to say, Sarah?
Oh, I was going to say, but what team would be dumb enough to trade for Rodgers? Because they would have to trade for him, right?
No, I think his contract ends.
His contract ends this year, right?
He signed a 2-year contract. I think he had 2 years left. I think. I could be wrong. Or there's a way for the Jets to get out or something like that. Because the owner doesn't want him on the team anymore.
Yeah,
the owner wants some bids. The coach is like, who am I going to play? We ain't got nobody. Mike White's gone. Zach is gone.
You got rid of them. You got rid of
anybody.
You got rid of the MILF hunter. You have the quarterback left. Jeez.
And the other guy who's halfway confident, the guy that played against us when we played the Jets, Mike White, he's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
So he's like, I don't have anybody else.
Well, and here's the thing: they fired the GM who actually had a pretty good draft class.
Yeah, but
still fired him.
He became Aaron Rodgers' little bitch. I think that's why they fired him.
That whole friggin' organization has become Aaron Rodgers.
So here's the thing, though: if Aaron Rodgers leaves, does that mean they lose Adams too? Because if Adams wasn't happy in Oakland or in Las Vegas, he ain't going to be happy in New York without Rodgers.
Depending on who the head coach is. What if the head coach is, say, Brian Flores?
No, I heard it. I don't think Brian Flores is going to go to Oregon.
I wouldn't go to Idaho, New York.
Here's the thing, though. Devontae Adams comes to Minnesota to be our third wide receiver.
Who?
Devontae Adams comes here to be our third wide receiver.
No, thank you.
No. God, you thought freaking Rodgers was a diva? Please. And Adams would be the one that during the skull chant start yelling "Goal Pack Go."
I don't need another toxic environment.
No. They did so much to clean out that locker room of the toxic nature. You don't want to bring that in. Then they've already got a culture in that locker room that you don't need a Devontae and you don't need an Aaron Rodgers. That screws up everything.
Well, the Vikings, in my opinion, I think they need a third receiver, but they drafted Naylor, so they're probably not going to bring
Naylor. The one that loves Naylor is Keenan McCardell. He's the only one. If it's me, I'm playing Sherfield or Powell.
Yeah,
you still got Tristan Jackson on practice squad.
Tristan Jackson. They like Naylor so much, but doesn't he have just as many touchdowns as Naylor?
Yeah. Yeah, Tristan can actually block too.
So Sherfield, has just as many touchdowns as Naylor.
Yeah.
But I think they both have 2. Wait, Naylor's got 3. That's right.
Naylor's got 3.
But he plays a lot more. But
Naylor should have at least 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they keep putting him out there, and after a while, he's going to cost you. He cost us 7 points last week.
Yep,
cost us 7 points with the Rams. It's you got to start holding these guys accountable. And if you could do it to Ed Ingram, why can't you do it to Naylor? It ain't like you don't have any wide receivers.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. If, say, Flores leaves, who do we replace him with? Do we promote from within or hire somebody from outside?
That
I
would
would
be hard.
I can't think of anybody within the organization to take over the spot. I would actually talk to Robert Saleh.
Robert Flores runs such a unique defense that no matter if Brian Flores does get a head coaching job, I kind of want him to because he deserves it, but then I kind of don't want him to because the Vikings are missing Brian Flores. But his defense is so unique and so rare that no matter who they bring in, the defense is not going to be the same.
No, it's not. Hell, almost like next year, I'd almost change to a 4-3 base. I would.
Well, I think KOC likes a 3-4.
KOC doesn't know defense.
Well, he's the head coach, though.
He still don't know defense.
Yeah, but the head coach wants to run a 3-4. You run a 3-4
because he's used to that from when he was with the Rams.
I know, but he's the head coach. He wants to run a 3-4. You run a 3-4.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the head coach.
Yeah.
But he don't know what the hell he's running on defense. He barely knows what he's running on offense half the time. You know?
What if Flores' replacement wants to go 4-3?
I'd be cool with it. You
would have to get rid of some of the players they brought in specifically for Flores' defense. Like Van Geek would probably struggle the most. I think Grenard, you could probably move to full-time D.
Well, but here's the thing, though. If you go 4-3, you can still mix it up. Van Ginkel's actually a linebacker anyway. So you could mix it up. It'll be like what they call
so you're saying like Cashman in the middle.
Cashman in the middle.
Van Ginkel on one side.
Pace on the other. Grenard, 3-point stance.
So who's the other defensive end? Jones?
If he sticks around.
Or no, Turner.
Turner can play the hands.
So Turner, Grenard on the ends. Harrison Phillips at one tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
I can see Rodriguez playing
at the other tackle.
Yeah.
So then you have Gink, Cashman, and Pace as the
linebackers.
And then Blackman.
Murphy's your nickel.
Murphy's the nickel. So the Vikings would definitely need another corner.
They'll need another corner, and then whoever your safeties are going to be right now, I'm going to assume Metellus and Bynum. I keep forgetting Jay Ward's on his team still.
Oh, there's a reason.
And Theo Jackson, remember him?
Yeah, Theo Jackson's still on the team. Is he a corner?
He's a safety.
He's a safety?
Hey, your cat's crawling up that.
He's trying to get out.
Road.
He's trying to get out.
He's planning his escape.
Who? What?
My cat's trying to get out.
Oh.
He's planning a jailbreak.
I mean, well, here's the thing.
Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak somewhere in this town.
I mean, it depends on what they do with. Who knows? Flores could resign with us if the openings don't look.
Well, I don't think like the Bears were talking today when I was watching one of the Bear shows.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want another first-time head coach. They want someone who's had experience being a head coach to go before. So they want someone who was a head coach before. Was what these guys. They're like.
I'm going to tell you something.
They're done with first-time head coaches. I hate to say it, but the structure is there for Brian Flores to have a good defense in Chicago.
I'll tell you who they might go with. The wild card is probably Cliff Kingsbury. He's just a quarterback coach in Washington.
Yeah. Well, they said the only exception to that would be Johnson. So like I'm saying, Lions fans need to enjoy Johnson because he's gone. He's not.
Well, but
he's like, oh, he wants to
people
win
are like
Super
so
Bowl.
high up on him. I'm like, you have a young quarterback. You don't even know if he can develop a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny though because these Lions fans are like, oh, Brian Johnson said he was staying until the Lions win the Super Bowl. He can say that all he wants.
You know what? You know who said that? Brian Billick said that.
The Lions.
Shermer said that.
Yeah. The Lions don't win the Super Bowl. Johnson's gone. He's gone, guys. So enjoy him while you have him.
Well, here's the
thing.
part.
Here's the thing. when Johnson leaves the Lions, does golf go back to being golf or goof, I should say?
Well, here's a thing that Lions fans don't realize. They could lose their front office too because their GM has been talked about as taking over some teams. And so
Well,
has
not only that, their assistant GM too.
and so has their defensive coordinator. So Campbell could have a whole new coordinator staff next year.
Yeah.
Like you
Some
said.
people are saying Aaron Glenn's going to get a head coaching job before Flores because of the lawsuit.
Which is fine.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
I don't think he's going to be a good head coach. Aaron Glenn can go to the Jets. That's where he used to play.
Yeah. But it also depends on who the GM of the Jets is going to be.
I heard that Ryan Grigson was.
Grigson's name came up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yes, get him out.
Good, go, bye.
Yeah, Grigson's name came up, and guess whose name is connected with Grigson? Brian Flores.
Another idea the Bears had was because they have so many draft picks, is trade for a head coach.
Yeah, trade for Shanahan.
First of all, that one was dumb. Shanahan's not leaving San Fran, but they did mention Kevin, and so instead of the Browns firing Kevin Stefanski, why not trade him for a pick?
If I'm Kevin, I avoid that trade. I'm just keeping my ass in Cleveland. I'm not going to New York.
No, Chicago.
Bears.
The Bears?
Yeah. These were the Bears. These were the guys who work at the Bears 6'7", 80, I think it is. They were talking. They had a show today. They were talking about.
Well, you know what?
Trade for a coach.
He might do that just to get a couple of shots at the Vikings.
But they were talking about Shanahan from San Fran. Shanahan's not leaving San Fran.
Shanahan's not leaving the West Coast.
Yeah.
He's not leaving the West Coast.
So they brought up Shanahan. They brought up Stefanski. They brought up somebody else too. Who did they bring up?
That they trade for?
Yeah. But yeah. So I can't remember who else they brought, who they mentioned. There was another head coach who's only going to leave if he gets fired or retires. There was somebody why would you go from a team that is better than the Bears? Because the head coach can block that trade, right? If he doesn't want to go,
he can void it. Yeah.
So
he can void it. Well, I mean, also you have to. If the coach isn't getting along with the manager, then there's probably going to be a amicable divorce, as they call it. But here's the thing with Chicago: they're going to have a new GM. They're going to get a new head coach. Eberflus is gone. Caleb doesn't exactly make anybody want to rush there to coach him. And they're on the hook for Caleb for the next 3 years, maybe 4 years. So, I mean, it would have to be a quarterback-minded coach that is going to take the time and work with Caleb and help him understand the game. That's why I said Cliff Kingsbury. Because they'll look at what Kingsbury did with Murray.
And Daniels.
And Daniels.
Johnson from Detroit. You can go there. But I don't know. But that's I want Johnson to get a head coach, but we don't know how he's going to be as a head coach either. So
no, he could be a one and done or.
Well, and the thing is, your play calls are gonna look good when you have that offensive line.
And here's the thing: when you're a coordinator, everything's kind of compartmentalized, and you know this and that. So you've got one side of the ball. When you're the head coach, you've got all facets of the team. So you have to be able to juggle all that. Some can do it, some can't. I have my doubts with KOC sometimes when it comes to that. But he's kind of done it for the most part. But he's got competent assistants. Whoever, I don't know, if Johnson puts together a staff, I mean, I mean, who's he going to get? You know? Yeah, Rodgers does need to hang it up. He needs to go hang out in the cave, smoke some weed or gummies or whatever, and just enjoy retirement. He needs to hang it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his pride's not going to let him, though.
His ego will not let him retire.
The league will, though.
Well, yeah, because the league can't. They don't really have anybody to take over the mantle. I mean, you can only make so much money off of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. After that, could be Joe Burrow, but he's in Cincinnati.
He needs a defense.
Yeah, he needs a defense.
We all know the future face of the NFL is J.J. McCarthy. He's handsome. You know, he's handsome. He throws a good ball. He's going to win multiple championships.
Okay, you know what, Kesh? The fact that you said handsome twice.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean to say it twice. I was just thinking of the list. I just happened
It's
to say handsome
okay.
twice.
It's a modern age. We understand. Well, we hope. I mean, I hope JJ comes in here and just lights it up.
Well, getting hurt wasn't necessarily the worst thing for JJ. Yeah, Sam Darnold makes some mistakes, but I mean, look, Jordan Love sat for 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes sat for a year.
The only quarterback that didn't sit was Favre, and he only sat for like 4 games in a year before with the Falcons. But ever since then, Rodgers sat and Love sat. You know,
What up, Let's Go?
I mean, and remember, like Sarah's mentioned before, this year is supposed to be a wash. We're actually playing with house money this year.
Yeah.
You know, we're not supposed to be this good. So, if the 49ers do a hard reset, Purdy for sure, Debo for sure, Ayuk already wants out.
Well, he just signed a contract.
CMC could possibly retire.
I think if he gets hurt again.
Bosa is hurt all the time now.
Yeah.
So they could.
He was supposed to be the healthier of the two Bosa brothers.
That's not saying much because Joey's hurt all the time too.
Yeah.
But truth be told, their dad was also hurt all the time, John Bosa. So,
right. Well, JJ didn't get hurt that much towards the end of his career. He did. But at the beginning of his career, he didn't get hurt much.
Yeah, but John just.
Sorry. Yeah.
Nick was actually healthy for the longest time, and then now.
Yeah. I don't know. I said JJ because of this comment, but yeah, Joey really didn't get hurt at the beginning of his career.
Right.
He just now started getting hurt. But yeah, Skull, that's a good point though. I don't know if they would have put him in after the bye or not. I definitely think they put him in at halftime at the Colts game.
Jags game.
No, the Colts game because Darnold threw 3 picks in the Colts game. Remember?
Yeah, he would have started the Jags game.
Yeah, he would have started the Jags game.
But they would have put him in the Colts game to give that team to light a fire under that team.
Yeah, for halftime. Yep.
Okay, now Breezy Warner, I can see leaving too. I don't know how much he's got left in him, but you know, especially if you stay at 3-4, I would actually take a look at him. You know, yeah, JJ would have been in for the Jags game, and they probably would have put up more than 12 points.
No, he threw 3 picks against the Colts and 2 against the Jags.
No, he threw 3 against the Jags.
So 2 against the Colts and
2 against the Colts, 3 against the Jags.
Because he's thrown 5 picks the last 3 games. He didn't throw any against Tennessee.
Yeah, he threw 3 against the Jags, 2 in the red zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of the picks against the Colts were, I think, in the red zone too.
No, one was a red zone. The other one was right after Murphy's interception. Murphy got the interception. He turned it right over. He just literally, first play, turns it right over.
I don't know. He's thrown so many picks, I lose track of which time he threw it.
I mean, yeah, I talk about
I just thought he's thrown a bunch of the last,
Yeah.
against the Jags and Colts. He threw a bunch of them. That's all I know.
I talk about the albatross, but I don't remember him throwing this many picks at this time of the year.
No, his are spread out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one was red zone, one was midfield for the Colts.
Well, the
Yeah.
one he threw against the Colts was probably the worst of all of them.
He threw that right into double coverage.
Yeah. And there was no Viking in sight. The guy from the Colts.
But here's the funny part.
Okay.
The Jaguars, he threw it right into double coverage in the red zone.
It was a perfect pass to Naylor, and Naylor dropped it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
And that's what's so frustrating about Darnold is that he'll give it up, but he'll also make those great throws.
Yeah, and then, like Naylor drops the one last week. That was a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's like we can be our own worst enemies on the offensive side.
They didn't score a touchdown against the Jags. And they should have, but they didn't.
No. And the Jags really didn't do anything offensively.
I kind of think the Vikings I don't know. They're like, hey, it's the AFC South, I think people are like, and I complained about it too, is when you look at the Lions and how they just dominate teams. I don't think the Vikings are capable of doing that. But here's the thing: Dan Campbell is far more aggressive than KOC. KOC can get aggressive, but he's more laid back than aggressive. Dan Campbell is aggressive all the time.
Campbell's playing to win. He's coaching to win
all the time, which will probably cost him down the road again.
Another player.
Yeah.
And you're right. Let's go. The Vikings play to their opponents. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
When you can tell when they get out there in the field, if they're playing, as I call it, if they're playing not to lose, 9 times out of 10 they lose.
Which is why I don't think this game. I don't think this game is going to be close because look at the division games they played so far. Right? They dominated the Packers for pretty much the whole game except for the last Packers
quarter.
The last quarter. Yeah.
The Lions were up twice by 11 points in that game. The Vikings came back both times. The Vikings get a first down. Both teams have one. Both teams have one loss. The Lions have 2 losses. The Vikings only have 1 loss. So, and then of course the soft defense they played. I think that's why I say it's more about what the Vikings did against the Lions than what the Lions did. So they've played. Anytime the Vikings have played a good team so far, they've been aggressive. I think the Rams game threw them for a loop because they weren't expecting both receivers to play. So you still have to adjust. And then, of course, that bogus penalty in the end zone didn't allow them to come back. So when the Vikings have played a good team, they've actually shown up. It's when they play the bad teams, which is a KOC thing, is when they don't show up. The Bears are a division opponent, even though they're not a good team. So that's why I don't think they'll play the same way against the Bears as they played the last 3 weeks, just because of who they're playing.
I think KOC plays not to lose instead of to win.
Exactly.
See, that's what separates him from Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is aggressive. That first series he had a fake punt against the Vikings.
He had a fake
punt. He had a fake punt, and it was deep in line territory. Well, I wouldn't say
which
totally
was
deep.
fucking dumb as hell.
Again, you're talking about the one against
that
us.
was a bad call.
Yeah, the one
he's always good for those bad calls. KOC wouldn't be that gutsy to do something like that.
Well,
he'd rather play safe.
I think that Lions game when it was 3rd and 1, and the Vikings were stopped short. To me, I would have went for it again.
That's why when you look at the reason this team can't run the ball, that falls on KOC in this front office that they didn't upgrade that offensive line. If you can't trust your offensive line to get a yard, 1 yard, you seen what it did to you last year when you played in Cincinnati and it cost you couldn't get a yard.
Yeah.
How do you not get a yard?
You remember the Cincinnati game last year, Davey?
No, I'm just saying, how do you like not get a yard?
Trust me, when you're running over Garrett Bradbury, yeah. The guy gets blown up at the line
What they
depending
need to
on the
do,
nose tackle, he gets blown up at the
what they
line.
need to do is
I know
put
the difference between that other guy. I won't mention his name, Tony. That other guy and Sam Darnold is night and day. Darnold could make that. He can make that yard.
True.
what I would do. All right, good night, winging it. Oh, my mom
Good
said
night,
good
winging
night
it.
earlier too. Sorry, mom. Good night as well. What I would do is you go to O'Neill's side. You put Johnny Munt. You put Josh Oliver on the same side. You put C.J. Ham in the offset eye to the same side, and then you hand the ball off to Aaron Jones. If you don't get a yard with those guys blocking, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but if your weak link is blown up at the point of attack, that could blow up the whole play. No matter what O'Neal and Munn do. I mean, if Ingram or Reisner get blown up at the point of attack, or even Bradbury, which is we've seen happen, doesn't matter where you run.
But not if you do a pitch.
Well, what about a quick slant?
You know,
Well, and see, slants are weird because
if they're in zone coverage, slants won't work.
remember, we saw Van Ginkel pick 2 of those off.
Yeah.
And depending on the only one you could throw to that you would, well, you could throw.
But here's the thing, though. Going Hawkinson.
Thank you.
If
That's what I was
the
thinking.
Vikings had T.J. Hawkins against the Lions, they throw to T.J. Hawkins for the first down, because what does that man do better than anybody else on the Vikings roster? He gets a first down when the Vikings need a first down. You know, unless it's 4th and 8 in the playoff game. But other than that,
And that's not even his fault.
that's not even his fault. So I think here's the thing: when we played the Lions, right, the Vikings did not have Hawkinson, and I said at the time, the Cashman loss is going to be big, right? How many games has Cashman missed?
He missed 3.
No, he's missed 2.
When did he get hurt?
He got hurt before the Lions game.
He got hurt in London?
He hurt
Yep.
Yep. He missed the Lions game and he missed the Rams game. Those are the only 2 games that the Cashman's missed. What 2 games did the Vikings lose?
Those 2.
Right.
Lions and Rams.
And what happened in those 2 games?
Teams
It's
ran
the only-
on him.
They gave up 30 points in those 2 games. It's the
Yeah,
only
the
2
teams
games they've
ran on
given
him.
up 30 points.
Well, yeah, and also Cashman's got the dot. He puts players in the
Yeah.
spot they should be in.
So, and they also didn't have Hawkinson. So let's bring that rematch back up. They said Darisaul's a loss. Darisaul's a loss, but the Lions can't get pressure.
Lions can't rush the quarterback.
Yeah. So let's have that rematch.
You guys aren't scared of Zadarius Smith?
Yeah, next.
Well, the thing about Zadarius Smith is that he's already had the big good part of his season because he's never good in the second half.
He got hurt the first game he played. He got hurt last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt last week, so he probably won't even play us the last game of the year.
Nah, I don't expect him to.
No. Exactly. Let's go. He won't be healthy week 18.
Yeah.
He won't be healthy. Which,
So-
if everything goes the way I think it will, that last game of the year is for the division
Right.
and probably a first round bye.
Well, the Lions, I don't see the Lions only losing 1 game this year.
Nah, they're playing the Bills in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, they got the Bills. They also got, depending on what Niners team, they still got to go to play the Niners.
Hey, Sarah, do you see that comment?
Huh.
Let's Go says he saw a squirrel today. It reminded him of you.
Oh yeah, because the other day I had squirrel soup for dinner.
Yeah, what?
Squirrel soup.
Okay. Never had it.
How was it?
It was good.
Did you get it? Did you get the squirrels out of your own tree? Did you scan them yourself and all
No,
What are these farm grown squirrels?
no, they're in the wild.
that?
Not from the city, like from hunting grounds.
They're
Oh,
nature squirrels, so
they're
they eat the
nature
good
squirrels.
stuff. They eat the good stuff. They eat the berries.
Yeah.
They don't eat the
Nature grown
leftover stuff from.
squirrels.
They're not the ones that are in my dumpster back here.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god.
I don't know if they have a lot of meat. I don't know if are they like rabbit? Are they lean like rabbit?
Yes, I've had it.
Oh, they're lean.
Because
Yes,
rabbit's good.
I
Rabbit's
had
good.
rabbit.
Yeah.
I had it. I had it like pickled. Like a buddy of mine when I was in the army. A buddy of mine. He was in Korea. He married a Korean woman, and he was from Kentucky. And they ate squirrel a lot. So his wife, I'd go over his house. They'd make squirrel stew, squirrel soup, squirrel hash, everything.
Yeah. My my father-in-law has had squirrel brain before. He says it's pretty good.
Squirrel brain?
Mhm.
Wow.
Not the hood rats. We're talking about the ones from the ones from
Nature.
nature. Yeah.
The ones
Not
that are
the
out in
hood rat.
nature, not the city ones. Well, he's got to play. He's got to play an NFL game, true, but he's got that pedigree.
I
McCarthy.
was being a little facetious, Jim, when I was saying that.
I mean, who knows? He comes in here and he could with the. I mean, he's got the weapons. He might light it up. You know.
All I got to say is that, yes, I know it was college. Yes, I know JJ did not throw a lot in college. But whenever the Wolverines needed him to make a play, he made it, whether it was running or throwing for the first down or making the play when he need to. So some people just have the it. So I don't know if JJ has it. He definitely had it in college. Would he have it in the pros? I don't know. But
Well, I mean, just
it
look
can't be
at
any worse than
Herbert.
Darnold.
Harbaugh has turned Herbert into like another just McCarthy. Run the ball.
Yeah.
And throw when you
Yeah.
need to.
Well, and that's what Harbaugh likes to play. You know, the one that's really impressed me though, I'm going to admit, besides Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix. I did not expect Bo Nix to be playing this well. I really didn't.
I somewhat did just because he's like a 5-year college starter, so he's more. He and Penix and Daniels are gonna be way more developed.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm telling you right now, folks. I can almost guarantee, barring a miracle, Penix is probably starting against us when we play the Falcons. They're not letting on really how bad the Albatross is hurt, but he's hurt pretty bad. And I don't know if what's his name wants to put him up against that pass rush because Atlanta's offensive line, it has its moments, but it's not the best.
Atlanta's really close to losing the division.
Yeah, they are. And the closest team is what, 4-6? That's the Saints, right?
No, the Bucks.
The Bucks 4-6. But they beat the Bucks twice. So, oh wow. You know what though? I don't know. Let's go because that would be a big contract for the Falcons they have to eat up. He's still got guaranteed money next year. Vikings are still paying that a-hole too.
Cousins was limited in practice.
Was he limited?
Yep.
Yeah, he's not in the best of shape. Yeah, less than pay. Well, yeah, but Purdy's younger, and at least Purdy's been to the big dance where Kirk puts up the numbers, but that's about it.
Yeah, if it came down to Purdy and Cousins, the 49ers would just resign Purdy.
Yeah, they would re-sign Purdy. But I can tell you right now, Darnold's on their radar. Yeah, Darnold's on the radar.
Yeah, I think JJ is the quarterback next year for the Vikings, no matter what. just to see what they have in them. Mostly, I think.
Well, and also now here's the deal. If he doesn't get if they don't get an extension, next year's the last year for both KOC and Quasi. So they're banking their future on JJ. So, I mean, depends on what they want to do, depends on how well they develop JJ. I have to see what happens. I don't see much for the draft this year for the Vikings because it's the draft and Quasi has yet to prove he can draft.
Well, and they only have 4 picks.
Yeah, they only got 4 picks. So free agency will be where they probably upgrade that offensive line and the defensive secondary. They could make some trades. Anything's possible. You know what? Let's go. If they haven't extended KOC and Quasi by now, they're probably going to wait till next year or maybe the off season.
Probably the off season.
They'll see how far they get this year. I would be shocked if, say the Vikings make the playoffs, win a playoff game. I would be shocked if they aren't extended in the off season. I would be shocked. Honestly, Breezy, I've had my issues with KLC. The landscape for head coaches out there is not the best, and he's got JJ. He has a winning record compared to the other coaches. He has his moments, but yeah, I'd give him an extension, maybe a 2-year extension. Quasi, I don't know about Quasi. Quasi did what he was brought in to do, and that's to fix the salary cap. He's done that. But as far as, we don't know how Dallas Turner is going to do some of the draft choices. He did okay with the undrafted free agents, but he just hasn't done great with the drafted ones. So with his draft picks. So
Breezy's got a question for you.
I just answered it.
So
that's what I was talking.
Oh wait. No cat. This is what I'm dealing with.
Your cat's ticked off at you. He wants out.
You already are outside today. Mommy let you out. Yeah, I think KOC gets extended whether we think or not or not.
Yeah.
So
I think the Wilfs are comfortable with them. They'll extend them. Maybe, just maybe, we lose Grigson, which I'm fine with. We'll see what happens, but
Grigson goes to Chicago and help them fix their offensive line.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, we know how well he does with offensive lines.
Well, Ryan Poles is also getting he's starting to get a lot of unfavorable stuff from the Bears, which I don't know why. Mostly because he took Roma Duze instead of taking an offensive lineman. Oh,
you haven't been watching the podcast, have you? Watch the Bears podcast. People go off. I thought the Jets fans were really irritated with their team. Bear fans are beyond irritated. Breezy, they've got to get rid of Bradbury. Next year is the last year of his 3-year contract, so they could cut him, and it won't cost him anything, really. They drafted Juergens. I don't even think Juergens has hit the field. Is Juergens still on the team?
Yeah. He's on the roster. He's not even on the practice squad.
He's on the roster and hasn't played a down. Catch, unmute yourself.
No. Juergens sometimes he's on the practice squad, sometimes he's on the roster. It depends on the week and who they're playing and stuff like that. But yeah.
So Juergens can get on the field, but you can't put Dan Feeney, who's got experience, out there a couple times. He plays both guard and center.
Cam Robinson will never, ever, 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 ever be Darasol. But
nobody will ever be
the
Darasol.
only
What are you
bad
talking
game
about?
he's really had with the Vikings was the Jacksonville game, and that's pretty much because he was there pretty much the week and a half before he played for the Vikings against Jacksonville, and they know him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Robinson was the best available left tackle that the Vikings could have gotten. So we'll see.
I got one for you. Would you move Robinson to guard with Darasol coming back?
I don't see. The problem is there's so many bad tackles out there that Cam Robinson, even though he's not the best, he's also not the worst.
He'll get paid. Somebody will pay him.
So,
and I don't like moving guys from that don't play their natural positions.
No, that was what I hated about Tony Sperano. He wanted all of his linemen to be familiar at all the positions. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You're moving them around from position to position. They can't figure out what position they're best at. And if they become a liability, because not only does it change your footwork, it changes your thinking, especially if you go from left to right.
Right. That was one of the things that, like, Brandel, he's playing left guard, but he played tackle.
Played right tackle.
College, but he's built as a guard. He's not built. His arms aren't long enough, I don't think, to be a tackle in the NFL.
And see, here was the thing with Ezra. Ezra was supposed to move to tackle when he got traded, and he's still playing guard.
So here's the thing: if Ezra was still on the roster, for one, the offensive line would be better than what it is, because I think
Ezra could actually run block.
Right, and does Brandel start at right guard as opposed to left guard, because Ezra would still be the left tackle. And let's say that Darasol got hurt. Would they still make the Robinson trade, or would they kick Ezra?
No, they would have kicked, because Ezra Cleveland was a natural left tackle.
So then you would bring Reisner in to play right guard and move Brandon to left tackle, which is,
Yeah, Reisner is a natural left
so
guard.
Would that be better than what we have now? That's the thing.
You still got Bradbury and Ingram.
Well, in this situation, Ingram wouldn't be starting.
Well, who's starting?
Brandel and Reisner would be the two guards.
Oh, so you would just kick Reisner over to left? You would kick Reisner?
No, you would put you would move Reisner from right guard. You would move Brandel from right guard to left guard and put.
Okay,
Reisner.
so let's back up.
So
Reisner
if they did not get it Ezra Cleveland, Darasol got hurt like he did in the Rams game.
Right.
Kick Ezra Cleveland to left tackle. Right.
You kick Ezra Cleveland left tackle. You put Dalton Reisner left guard. Brandel doesn't see the field.
Well, no, because Brandel would be the starting right guard over Ingram.
No, they'd have kept Ingram out there.
I don't know. Brandel hasn't given up nowhere near the pressures that Ingram has given up.
He's had a couple games where he looked out of place, but
yeah, a couple games, not every game.
And unfortunately, the poor guy, he's stuck next to Bradbury, who,
right?
Sometimes he's got to make up for Bradbury getting knocked the hell out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could. Brandel could play right guard. He would be on the right side.
Right.
Or why don't you just put Dan Feeney in there? He can play guard and center. Why'd you sign him if you're not going to play him? You got Quisenberry. You never played Quisenberry.
Well, Quisenberry is a backup for emergency situations like against the Rams. So I'm glad. I'd rather have Robinson started than Quisenberry. That's what you have to look at when you ask about Cam Robinson.
Yeah.
Is Cam Robinson better than what the Vikings had on the roster when they traded for him? The answer is yes.
Cam has not been a liability.
Right.
He's not been a liability. That I can say. Yeah, we lack size. We lack strength. That's the whole thing. You can still have small guys that are strong. Our guys are just soft as hell. Bradbury is soft. And so is Ingram. Reisner is not a run blocker. He's better pass blocker. And Brandel is nothing to, he's nothing great. We do lack size. That's the problem.
He's not awful, but he's not great.
Right. He's not an all-pro, but he's not a scrub.
Is he better than Ingram? Yes. Is he better than Bradbury? Yes.
Yes.
So
is he better than would he be better than Jurgen?
Well, we don't know.
See, Jurgen didn't look good to me in college.
Well, he played two positions though.
Yeah, Jurgen didn't look good.
They kept moving him back and forth.
He didn't look good. He didn't look that good during the preseason to me either.
No, that kick that Reichert had blocked in the Raider game, that was Jurgens getting bowled over. He did his best friggin' Bradbury impersonation. He was pretty good at it too.
Rouse looks serviceable though.
Rouse looks very serviceable. Rouse.
So can Rouse play guard though? That's the thing. I think Rouse is the backup.
He's a backup
tackle next year.
O'Neal. It would probably see. This is where, if you move him, his frame is that of a tackle. To be a guard, he'd be a slender guard. He'd be like Ezra Cleveland as a guard, probably a little bigger.
Right.
But maybe next year that's what they do. Maybe they work him out at guard and tackle. Maybe they like they do Ezra Cleveland. I think the Vikings need a new line coach, to be honest. I really do. Cooper ain't cutting it. So who's the better back, Akers or Chandler? Faster? Chandler's faster, but Akers is a more complete back. Chandler is faster, though.
Chandler can't block for shit. That's why he's in the doghouse.
He can't block and he misses holes like Madison used to do. He misses holes.
I think Chandler's in a doghouse, to be honest with you.
Yeah. He's been a doghouse since London.
Because he only plays on special teams, and then why you could say, was that really a penalty? He still got a penalty on the special teams.
I think that was a bogus penalty though, because that guy was still in bounds.
You can't hold that against him, because when you're out there playing 100 miles per hour, you ain't looking at the sideline. You're looking at trying to stop the guy with the ball.
Yeah, and he was still in bounds.
Yeah. It's just if the coach is going to hold that against him, that's bogus.
I'm just saying he had a penalty at special teams, so we don't know what the reaction is.
He got a game ball.
Who did?
Chandler
got a game ball?
I think so.
Not for the video I saw.
Not for the video I saw.
Who was I thinking then?
Pat
Bynum got one.
Pat Jones, Van Ginkel, Bynum. Sam.
Man, I swear I thought Chandler got one.
Well, in a breezy, with a lot of running backs, they're so focused and straight ahead. Some have the vision that they can see the hole develop out of the corner of their eye and hit it. A lot of great runners had that. Barry Sanders had it. A lot of others had it. With a lot of these running backs nowadays, they just kind of look in front of them, and if they don't get a hole, they just run there and hope a hole develops, where they miss the hole completely. Madison did that years ago against Seattle, and it cost us the game. He missed the hole completely on like 4th and short.
Yep. If another running back would have been first down easily.
Right. He missed that hole completely, and Seattle got the ball and drove the length of the field for a touchdown. So, I mean, somebody needs running backs nowadays, considering they don't get the ball that much, and they're kind of not thought of. They're not the offensive weapons they used to be. Some have the vision, some don't. A lot of the running backs nowadays don't have the vision that the great ones did. A lot of it's about vision.
Well, it's because a lot of times in college, a lot of teams run RPO. The quarterback makes the read.
Yeah.
Or they're always in shotgun and they get the handoff from shotgun. So the quarterback's not taking the ball under center in college also affects the running back too.
Yeah.
So
And you don't have, and with the way the NFL is now, they'll between the 20s just throwing the ball. Once it gets into the 20s, once it gets into the red zone, teams have got to learn that this offensive coordinators have to learn the field shrinks. So you need to have that running game that works. And we just don't have a running game that works. I mean, how many times have we been down at the goal line and Aaron Jones only has one rushing touchdown? I mean,
I think they throw it too much, to be honest with you.
and I think that's because KLC doesn't trust his running game.
What do we have? Like 4 rushing touchdowns?
Jones, Ham, Darnold, Akers. Akers got a rushing TD, right?
Yes, he got one last week.
4. That's all I can think of is 4.
Let's see.
Unless Darnold's got more than one. But I can only think of, I think I just said them.
I know they have allowed 4.
Okay.
Which is the best in the NFL. All right, so Aaron Jones has got 2 touchdowns. CJ Ham has 1.
But inside the 20, he's only got 1.
Jordan Addison has 1, and Sam Darnold has 1.
And I think Jefferson's was like a 9-yard run against the Packers, end around.
Addison's was an end around, wasn't it?
Addison's was an end around, yeah.
Yeah, Jefferson had an end around against the Packers, I believe.
No.
Yeah, that was the first touchdown of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, he also had a TD pass where he made a highlight reel out of the defensive back for the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the opening drive, where that was at the beginning of the year, where for some reason everything clicked and we scored on our opening drive. I mean, we did that for like 2-3 straight weeks, didn't we? Scored on our opening drive. But yeah,
Since the Ram game, we haven't scored an opening drive touchdown.
right.
Or the Colts game. And then the Colts
game.
Yeah.
We should have been a Colts game and they threw the damn.
And Jacksonville, they didn't.
Akers' only TD was the TD catch. I thought he had a Russian TD.
Was it a catch?
Last week was a catch, yeah. Last week was basically a swing pass.
Akers had a rushing touchdown against us.
Oh, that's right, with Texas. The Texans. Yeah. That's right. So, okay, scratch that. Then we've only got maybe 3 inside the 20 or down by the goal line. We've only got like 1 rushing one or 2 rushing TDs.
Didn't Jones just come from like 30 yards out?
Aaron Jones had the one against Detroit that was
it was a long run, right?
It was a long run, yeah. The first score that was like 30 yards.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sam Darnold had a quarterback sneak. CJ Ham had a quarterback sneak.
So
Addison's TD run. How long was that?
I think his was like 5, 6, something like that.
5 or 6 yards. What's his name was 9 yards. Yeah, running backs actually only have, safe to say, 2 rushing TDs. That's not very good.
I think that goes to KOC too.
Yeah, he gives up on a run too quick.
Yep.
Well, you wanna wrap it up here, Catch?
It's up to you guys.
I'm getting kind of tired here.
Yep, getting sleepy.
Yeah.
Well, what time do the Falcons play Sunday?
Did you see the chat?
So I don't know. See, here's the thing, though. If you guys weren't on the bye week, would Cousins play this week? Would you get your first Penix first start? Would that in Cousins run? Now that you guys have the bye week, that means you guys get Cousins starting next week.
Maybe. I don't know how they're not letting on how badly hurt he is. He might be really hurt. I mean, he rushed back from the Achilles, so
Yeah. So are you going to be on the live stream Sunday then, or no?
I'm going to come on a live stream with you for a minute. I'll let Trisha's going to sleep in since she's got the bye week. She'll sleep in. Let her get some rest. Yeah,
But they're paying Cousins all that money.
Well, actually, you know who's paying them more is the Vikings this year. We're still paying them what?
28.3 is a dead cap space. I'm not sure how much they're paying them, but 28.3 is on the dead
They're
cap.
paying them all of it because they're on the hook
Yeah.
for what's his names too.
Yeah.
That's 28 million spent this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll jump on with you, Catch.
Right. So play-by-play, the stream play-by-play on Sunday. I don't know who's going to join me. It may be Yogi, maybe Zoe. I don't know who else. Other people who should join. And then of course, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't have internet problems this week. But the Wednesday Vikings vintage. We'll talk to the Cardinals. It's probably going to be a quick show because there's not much history.
Oh, I forgot. When was the last time the Cardinals won in Minneapolis?
Cardinals haven't won in Minneapolis since what, 77?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought in the 70s. Okay.
Yeah, it was 77. They won 27-7.
Yeah. So we'll do that. And then, of course, Friday free for all again. And then, of course, the play-by-play, the live stream on Sunday against Cardinals as well.
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget to follow Sarah. Sarah has a new Sarah, you said you have a new YouTube channel?
I do.
If you have the link for it, I'll drop it in the link if you want to put it in private chat.
I don't.
Okay. What's the name of your channel?
Oh, there goes my tablet.
Sarah the White Queen?
All right, so make sure you guys go to Sarah the White Queen on YouTube and on X. Sarah Zong on X.
No, on X, I'm Sarah the White Queen too.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, she's Sarah the White Queen on X too.
Oh. It's not what I have right here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, and then of course, Tony, you have your Facebook pages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, I'll live stream. We live stream the game on Sunday, so can't show any of the play action though. But so that's the schedule. Any final thoughts? Score predictions? I say 24-3 Minnesota.
I still got 24-14 Vikings. I just want to say thank you to everyone that came on. If I offended anybody, I'm sorry, but you know what? Don't come at me like I'm an idiot. That's all I got to say.
Bears ain't scoring more than 10 points.
They ain't scoring a touchdown.
So what do you guys have for score?
I think I have 24-3 as well.
I say 27-6.
I'm the one giving the Bears a chance at
27-6.
Yeah, I don't think Caleb Williams will be able to do anything against the defense because he's a rookie quarterback, and the Vikings have shown rookie quarterbacks do not play well.
No, so I think if worse comes to worse, he'll probably get pulled for whatever that guy's is, Tangent,
like they did last year with Justin Fields got hurt, didn't play.
Yeah,
got hurt.
What's the record for most sacks in the game again?
Most sacks in a game, I believe, since they've started keeping track.
Well, the Vikings had
for the Vikings it's 9 or 11. It's 11.
The Vikings had 9 against the Lions a couple of years ago.
No, they got 10.
Was it 10 that game?
Yep, they got 10. The NFL record, it was the Bears. They had like 11 against the Raiders. Might be like 12 or 13.
I hope we break that record.
It could if we break that record on the Bears. Oh shit!
And they ain't even getting 3.
Yeah, they'll be lucky to get. They're gonna have to blitz. They're gonna blitz Darnold.
I don't think they're going to blitz Darnold because Darnold's one of the best quarterbacks this year against the blitz.
Yeah, but the Bears are going to try and create some pressure, and if they're not getting it from the front four, I mean, Sweat's the only one that worries me on that front line.
But we saw what when Darnold had all that time against the Colts, he had over 4 seconds to throw, and that's when he threw the pick.
And all I ask for Darnold Sunday is to look for other receivers if JJ's got double coverage. Don't force the ball into him. Somebody
I just want all the receivers to wear 18. Make it easier on Darnold. All right, guys, you all wear 18.
Yep. So, all right. Well, appreciate everybody for joining as usual. Make sure you give a like and subscribe to all the channels. We appreciate it. Like I said, we'll see you guys Sunday, and thank you all for coming.
I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning all. And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?